still think of the past. And too many fullness, day after day. And too many fullness, day after day. Your passion, take it from me. What's real to you when to make yourself happy? Your passion, what's real to you when to make yourself a hero? Without flowers, forget what they wet for day after day. Without flowers blossom in the stream of tears, they still think of the past. And too many fullness, day after day. And too many fullness.
What is good, people? It is the KOA podcast. I am Sasuke the Savage. He is everything animated. What is good with you folks tonight?
Hey, everybody. Don't adjust your screens or anything. That is right. We are on twice this week. We did it this past Monday, and we're back on regular Thursday, so this is going to be just the regular show again.
Yep.
With everything now officially all caught up, including Dandadan that just came out today as well. So there's a couple of shows that, well, one, that's a Killer Pass episode. Will it survive the night? We will find out. And we'll be talking about, of course, Dress Up Darling, Sakamoto Days, Hikaru, Hana, and the summer Hikaru died. Oh, and as well as Tougen Anki, which is the Killer Pass episode. So
Yes.
yeah, we got a fun-filled, bulky, wonderful show tonight.
Absolutely.
How are you doing, Sasuke?
I'm doing jumbled. That's the best way I could describe it. I am like out of sorts, kinda, but I'm getting things together. Little by little. You know,
That's
you
good.
dismantle things, you put them back to part. That's how I feel right now.
I hear that. Yeah, and I'm. It's almost the end of the week, so you know I'm doing well as well. Hello, Decrepit Storm, and hello, Trayvon. Welcome on in.
Yeah, what is good? We missed you guys.
Yeah, I think Trayvon was there on Monday though. but
No,
Decrepit Storm.
I'm talking about the 3 days.
Oh, yeah, it's been so long, guys, man.
You know. But if you're unfamiliar with the format of this podcast, what we do basically is we choose shows to talk about from this season. That's why we're covering My Dress Up Darling, Sakamoto Days, Dandadan, Kaoru, Hana, Tougen Anki, as well as the summer Hikaru died. And every 3 episodes or so, usually, we decide whether to kill or pass a show. To kill a show means that it will not be talked about on the show anymore. It will be removed from the graphics. We have nothing to do with it unless we just decide to watch it past the podcast, because that has happened before. And if we pass the show, we will continue to talk about it and, of course, platform it on the podcast. So that is how a kill or pass works, because it is just me and EA. Usually it is me, EA, C-Tactics. It's usually a 3-man show, but because it's just us, for a show to get killed, it has to be unanimous. Both of us have to decide we're going to kill it. Thus, 1 pass means a show will continue to be talked about on here. So all it takes is 1 motherfucker to fuck things up, and we're going to keep going.
And it's not going to be me. Maybe.
We'll see. Your time is
Alrighty,
coming.
sounds good. Yes. So, I feel like we got something, you know, a little something that'll never give you the blues. Oh shit, I hit it twice.
It's Miracle
This is like a DJ.
My fingers,
DJ scratch. You got to start doing that more.
my finger slipped. Yeah, no, maybe next week I'll do some impromptu DJ scratching. But no, I guess you have the first part. You can go ahead and you can read that, and I'll read mine.
Yeah, we gotta have a different slogan for the podcast or the news section, because I feel every time we start, it's something that just contradicts what you said.
Well, I mean, what could we possibly say? We got something that'll make you morally depressed. Now let's get ready for the KOA news. Doesn't rhyme.
Well, YouTube is doing a thing, not a good thing. They're going to roll out AI, which is supposed to cover age detection. So, you know how there's some videos on YouTube that are, you know, for 18 plus, and, you know, they'll ask you to confirm if you want to watch it. Normally, you would just make an account, you know, your Google account, and if you're 18 years plus, you will be able to press confirm on that video and then just watch it. YouTube wants to incorporate an AI, which we don't know how this is going to work exactly, but I imagine they're going to basically go through some of the stuff that you're watching and then detect whether or not you're 18 years old. And from that, that's how they're going to do age detection instead of what is written on your Google account. So, and also, and here's the kicker. If for whatever reason it decides that you are in fact a glue eating, crayon sniffing elementary kid, if it makes a mistake like that, to confirm your age, you will have to give them, yes, Google, your ID. So, yeah.
Okay.
You'll have to, I guess, verify your ID with them, give them your information, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of being anonymous on the internet. And also there's been like breaches. I mean, we've been getting these for years now, so I don't think that's really a good idea. But yeah, that's what YouTube is doing.
I mean, I may be in trouble because I watch a bunch of anime and a bunch of like clips and stuff. It's like, would they look at me and go, "This is obviously a 15-year-old girl. We got to go ahead and block him because he's watching all these romantic clips and everything."
Yeah, you gotta like pace yourself while watching Madoka Magica clips or something. They're gonna think that you're a 13-year-old angsty girl.
Yeah, I hope. AI is just it's amazing what it can do, but at the same time it's scary, the fact that this is all automated and that there's not a person behind it, because I feel like if they actually had a person kind of look at it, say, okay, this is obviously an adult, and I don't know, like they would have to like look at your videos and see if you upload. Like, I don't think I could pass off as a high school student. I don't know, maybe maybe the AI would think I'm still in high school just by my looks or whatever. But yeah, I don't like that. I guess I understand the reason behind it is to make less kids look at adult stuff, but I don't know. I feel like that's more of a parental thing. They should teach their kids to like stay off the internet. Don't make them a YouTube account. I don't know. Go outside and play.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's one of these things. Well, to talk about this further, this thing that's happening with YouTube is something that's even more severe in the UK. Right now, they're trying to roll out something very similar to this YouTube thing, not in the AI age detection, but they're restricting restricting Spotify. So you have to be 18 plus to access Spotify, and you're going to have to give them your ID. You're going to have to identify yourself, which, I mean, that's just relinquishing information to various corporations, because
Whatever will the kids do if they can't listen to certain music on Spotify? My God.
It's and it's one of those things which is probably just going to get worse because, you know, monkey see, monkey do. One company is going to see this and figure probably not even for the censorship. It's just an avenue to get people's information because, you know, they know more about you, the more they can cater to you and the more they'll make money. So avenue like that, I can see this happening with the gaming industry. It's already kind of happening with some of the censorship that's going on. But yeah, it's one of those things to where they use kids as a basis to put their foot in the door for this because part of why this
Think of the children.
Yeah, part of why this started was because of, we don't want kids accessing porn. I mean, that's kind of like the basis of why I can't watch Pornhub without identifying myself in Florida, and it's happened with a couple other states. So it started off with that. We want to protect the children. We don't want them to watch porn, which, yeah, that makes sense. But I think it goes back to what you were saying, which is that's kind of the parent's job, not the government's job, to be the one that's watchful over, you know, looking over their shoulder, making sure, check the ID. No, it's the parent's job to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's just another thing that's kind of like an overreach. They always use children as a crutch when it comes to, we're just going to make things better for the children. And then before you know it, you know, more of your liberties are taken away from you. And, you know, just like the whole Patriot Act way back when 9/11 happened and just made our freedoms even less and less. And I mean, does it sound out of the realm of possibility where they could do more stuff like that? I mean, hey, they're going to ask for your information if they believe that you're who's to say they wouldn't, like the AI wouldn't just recognize you and then just permanently block you just because you don't agree with a certain stance of something. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just to that point now, and it's scary.
Yeah. I mean, with that, they can restrict what is 18 plus worthy or not. And with a lot of pushes that we've seen, who's to say they think of like some LGBTQ themes, they'll go like, that's adult. And, you know, it'll be restricted in that way. And it's just one of those things. I think people need to see the bigger picture because you talked about the Patriot Act, and I think that's a good point. I think for safety measures, for safety and convenience, we're giving away our liberties. And that's not a good thing because more and more, this may seem like an extreme thought, but more and more with all of these things that we give away, the more we're kind of like living like cattle, where we're just having some bigger entity look over us and basically tell us what to do in every aspect of our lives. I mean, taking away Spotify is kind of insane.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know I know this is a podcast about anime and whatnot, but no, it's gotten to the point where, you know, we're having more and more stuff taken away, and, you know, it's just like, oh, well, we're the land of the free. We have freedoms and all this other stuff. I mean, just the stuff I see on the news and YouTube and, you know, like with police videos and stuff like that makes me think otherwise, especially recently. So, I mean, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully there's some people that'll put a kind of like a restriction to this madness. I know AI is like the new thing and everybody's pushing it, but there's going to come a point where I'm telling you right now, AI is going to take some people's jobs and people are going to be out of a job and they're going to be pissed. And I feel like when that happens, that's when, you know, the protest starts and, you know, they're going to have unions and probably trying to regulate it somehow. But until that happens, it's just they're going to use AI for more stuff. There's going to be movies that are going to be written with AI. Guarantee it.
I feel like it already is happening. You know,
Mhm.
they already, I mean, you think about it, we already had a writer strike, and that probably wasn't to the happiness of a lot of people that were suffering because of that.
Yeah,
So
wasn't the first one either. That was like, I feel like the fourth one that I've heard about since like 2000. Like they always shaft the writers when it comes to that, and it's because before it was DVD sales, then it was I don't know, like they wanted to like get more money, and now it's streaming. Streaming is the thing where people are getting screwed. And now this most recent thing, I think it was like a couple years ago, the AI thing, they fought tooth and nail, especially the voice actors that were like, don't sell my voice to do this AI shit. And what did they go ahead and do in the fine detail? They sold it. And now their voice, like James Earl Jones, they could use him as Darth Vader forever now that he's dead, and he has no say. You know, and it's just like that's sad.
yeah,
So you know, even when you're dead, you can't. They'll still make money off of you. So it's ridiculous.
absolutely.
But sorry about that, folks. That was a little bit of a depressing note to get started, but do have some anime related stuff to get us back onto that chipper, positive sort of feel. So here we go. Major news today. Jujutsu Kaisen was named the most popular anime by Guinness World Records 2 years in a row. Didn't it end last year?
Yes. Was it? Yes. Question mark at the end.
Yeah, because it said earned the record for most in-demand anime for 2023, 24, and 2024, 25.
Oh,
So kind of like in that span or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, good on them, I guess. 3 million people illegally watched the Demon Slayer movie. It's shitty, it's got no subtitles, and it's done through the camera work and everything. But 3 million people seen it. And this is the minimum number from days ago, so it's more than likely more. So you know what that means. That person that uploaded it, they're getting got.
it had been executed as we speak right now. Probably like a public execution.
Right, they're in a firing squad as we speak.
I mean, the thing about streaming illegally, not to say that we're super advocates for it, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really loses people money, because in all likelihood, the people who are streaming it illegally like that weren't going to buy it in the first place. So
No.
It's going to be one of those things to whether you either gain more people who are going to actually support it in some way, shape, or fashion, or you don't lose out on much, really. Because somebody that's going to those memes are probably always going to go to those memes no matter what.
Right, they're always going to be a cheapskate, not paying for anything and streaming it illegally on their website. So, yeah, but yeah, as for me, I'm gonna buy it when I'm gonna go in the theaters and watch it. Actually, let's see. Speaking of Demon Slayer, the movie is the fastest to cross 100 million USD in the Japanese box office history by pulling it off in 2 whole weeks. So whatever that converts in, like Japanese yen, I guess it's the fastest to reach 100 million USD. So good for them. I know it's probably going to make a crap ton here. If you want to buy tickets to that movie, international tickets go on sale August 15th.
Okay.
That's like a month ahead of when it comes out in September. So they are really hyping this movie out to be like one of the biggest animes ever to come to the States, which is just insane to me.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty huge. I can see it. Like I said, what you're going to get from it is probably the best section just when it comes to the fighting aspect of it. Like whatever your favorite fights in Demon Slayer are, maybe with the exception of maybe 2, you're going to get the best fights coming in this arc in Infinity Castle. So it is the perfect stage for a movie.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it. Your name creator, Makoto Shinkai, will announce his new movie this year. Makoto Shinkai just straight up just great at what he does, so I'm looking forward to seeing what else he does. But he's going to announce a new movie.
Okay.
Let's see. This is One Piece material. Kuma's backstory is the highest rated flashback of all time when it comes to like flashbacks in anime. I don't know. I just know that a lot of people are talking about One Piece lately and saying that it's super great and they love it. So good on them. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, here's one. Sea Tactics would be super happy about this. 86 is getting a season 2.
Oh, I did.
Yes, that's right. 86 is getting a season 2. And that means more Vladilena loving and more denial from Sea Tactics.
My God, it's been so long. Has it been like 4 or 3 years?
4 or 3. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, it came out April 2021.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's been about 4 years then. All right. And lastly, one of some awesome news. I'm happy for the success of this movie. K-pop Demon Hunters is now the most popular Netflix animated film of all time.
God damn.
I told you about this the last time, and you didn't even hear about it, but I'm happy for its success. People are just paying attention to it. So much so that there are talks of making more movies, and they're even talking about, I don't know why Netflix always has to do this, a live action remake. And it's just like, it's already good as an animated film.
But what if we get real people to do some shit that only looks good animated?
Right. And I just don't understand that, because when you see the movie, you know exactly, it's like, oh, that's great. But then you watch it live action, and you're like, this is gonna look so bad. So, as I mentioned before, I do want to do a review on this. I better do it now before the popularity runs out of it. But yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters, now the most popular animated film on all time on Netflix. So I'm happy. I'm happy for it.
We got a fact check by Decrepit Storm. He said the 86 season 2 is not confirmed, just leaks as far as I'm aware.
Oh, well then the thing I read was a damn lie. So discredit me.
Yeah, you're leaking all over the place, Ellie. Or EA.
Oh no. That's my bad.
Oh, I have a thing. I think this is a little more credible than an 86 thing, but supposedly Akane Banashi is gearing up for anime sometime. I think it got because whenever you get the anime, it has like a new web domain, so it's like prepping for it. So Akane Banashi, it is a series focused on Rakugo. If anybody's familiar with that art, it's this art basically where you're on stage by yourself and you're doing these reenactments of stories in like a solo performance. It's super interesting.
Okay.
Really big Shonen Jump series, and got one of the best Shonen MCs right now out, Akane. So I'm hoping that ends up being very good. I think they really had to nail down the facial expressions, especially because that's what sells everything. That's what puts everything together. So I'm very excited for that.
Alrighty. That sounds cool. Decrepit Storm says, well, there were leaks a few days ago, unless it's been confirmed since then. Doesn't look like it though. But if it is true, we must put Sea Tactics on trial once again when it comes out. My God. We're gonna get more we're gonna get more of those slide show performances and PowerPoint presentations. I'm just gonna be like, dear God, no. More subliminal Vladalenas floating around just on the screen.
We're ready for it.
Yep, we'll be ready, because I don't think we killed it. I think once we made it all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is it for the KOA news.
Well, EA, it is time to get into the nitty gritty. It is time to talk about our first show tonight, which is none
Our
other.
favorite power couple.
They might have some competition. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I would say favorite right now.
Okay.
We are talking My Dress Up Darling season 2, episode 4. And
pretty good.
We have a lot of festivals going on with everything right now.
I realize that. I feel like it's this one, and then in that other series, and then I think another one.
It's My Dress Up Darling,
3?
the summer Hikaru died, and then Kaoru Hana.
It is 3 then.
And they're all different. They're all 3 different festivals. And Dress Up Darling is a culture festival, and Kaoru Hana it's a sports festival. And in the summer Hikaru died, it's like just I
Summer
guess
festival.
Yeah, it's one of those like traditional festivals. I guess it would be a culture festival in a sense, but like not in the sense of it being in a school.
Yeah, it's like for the public or for the little village.
Yeah.
But yes, the culture festival, the best time of the year when it comes to high school students. And wouldn't you know it, this particular thing, when it comes to just this moment in time, involves cosplay. Gee, what are the odds?
Yeah.
That's kind of lucky. That's kind of convenient. It's almost like they've been doing it these whole past couple of episodes, you know?
Well, yeah, it definitely is convenient, but this is something that I've seen in a whole bunch of anime where they do, well, because specifically what they're doing with this one is they're going to have a beauty pageant, and the participants have to cross-dress. So if Maureen participates, she has to go as a guy, and then whatever guy may go has to participate as a girl. This is something I've seen in a whole bunch of anime where they do like this cross-dressing section. It's something that actually happened in Persona 4 for everybody that's played it. So yeah, it's something that happens apparently.
Okay. Well, yeah, it seems like everybody's on board. I just love how everybody was just kind of like, Maureen is obviously the one to do it. She's the popular and the most prettiest one here, so let's get her to do it.
Yeah, she's literally a model, so that's like
that's like a no-brainer. So yeah, let's have her do it. Maureen was chomping at the bit essentially to do it, and yeah, I do agree here. She puts Gojo on blast by saying, "You're gonna help me, right? We're gonna do this," and people are like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Gojo? Gojo? Motherfucking Gojo?" And then her friend was just like, "Oh, he makes her stuff. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that."
Yeah. Yes. So Gojo got he was feeling the heat a little bit with all eyes on him, and it led to this, because it's not that much to talk about with this episode, but in terms of what was going on with Gojo, the whole thing that you got was him feeling the pressure from the public and him thinking that he had to perform not only as a participant for this culture festival, like helping out with a lot of the decorations and stuff like that, but also, of course, with the cosplay that Maureen was going for, which we'll talk more about. But it was one of those things to where Gojo, being who he is, kind of wants to people please, wanted to tackle both issues, and we saw something pretty good. And this kind of goes what I was talking about last podcast with this show is very optimistic, positive, and unrealistic in a sense, but I think it's fine because it just generally gives you a good feeling, and it's refreshing a lot of the times because it doesn't go for a lot of the drama points that you would see in another show. So normally in a show like this where somebody wants drama to keep things going, they will probably have everybody resistant towards Gojo. Nobody would give a fuck. That nobody would give a fuck if what he was going through. They're like, you better make that cosplay, bitch, and you better take out the trash too. But
yes, lick my boots.
Yeah, but everybody in the class is just understanding, and they go, dude, make the cosplay. We'll handle things over here. You do not have to overexert yourself. We understand. And it's like, so you don't gotta make
cool.
you don't gotta make drama out of fucking nothing. you could just like avoid out all of that together. You know, it's different.
Yeah. I really love that scene. How they basically, well, first they were surprised because he walked in. They were like, Gojo, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I just was thinking I could help out. And then Lauren's friend was like, wait, were you seriously coming over here because you thought that you needed to do both? And he just was kind of like, yeah. And they're like, dude, no, we understand. You have an important task. You have to literally make a costume from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
We got this. Take all the time you need. Don't stress. And yeah, I saw that and I was just like, that's so sweet. That is really, really nice.
There was also a lesson to be learned for Gojo too, because one guy in particular was, when Gojo insisted that he was going to help out with both, one guy was like, oh, okay. And he didn't really understand that Gojo was overexerting himself and kind of just, you know, trying to appeal to both crowds. But there was another guy who was just like, no, Gojo, you need to focus on that. If you're not firm in what you need to do, people are going to unknowingly take advantage of you, you know, because the guy wasn't being malicious when he said that. He just generally thought that Gojo could handle both. So, you know, it was a lesson to be learned on Gojo's end, that he has to know what's best for himself and not just try to do whatever people need in a moment or anything like that. Sometimes you got to be firm in where you stand.
It kind of harkens back to the very first episode of this series and how the boys were cleaning up the room and everything. And Gojo was like, I'll help out. Oh, you got this? Okay, cool, man. I'll see you later.
Mm-hmm.
And Gojo was just by himself with his thoughts, just doing it. And then Maureen was kind of the one to give him that push and say, don't let other people walk all over you. You need to speak what's on your mind and just tell them. And it kind of harkens back to that. And, you know, it kind of like reaffirms Gojo that, okay, I think I'm going to be okay. I think these people got my back. If I just focus on this task, I don't think it'll be as bad as trying to do everything and then collapsing at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Creeper Storm says he definitely would have found a way to do both, even if it killed him. Yep. For sure.
That's Gojo for you. Yeah.
So once again, we get an anime within the anime that looks better than a majority of anime.
Oh my god. It was like Ouran High School mixed with Fruits Basket, all put into one.
Yeah.
It just and it, you know, had the basic kind of like things that he said, oh, my parents died and I'm working as a host. Oh, she's so cute.
Yeah. So we have Prez host because Maureen gets the idea that she wants to cosplay as Ray, who also does cross dressing, working as a male host, while also being the student council president at school. The anime within the anime thing doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things, but they always give you a little backstory and lore of why Maureen likes these characters, because it's a little detail that makes it feel more real. Because again, Maureen explains why she falls in love with these characters, because she always is going to cosplay a character she cares for. You know, it's not just going to be one that she just thinks looks kind of cool. It's going to be one that she adores.
Yep. And she goes a little crazy with, no, she doesn't do it in this episode, but sometimes she gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
Whether it be the bunny outfits or that hentai one, just grinds it and whatnot. But yeah, this one, she's just like, oh yeah, she's a great character, dresses up as a dude, does the host thing. I can totally pull that off. Like, okay, cool. Hopefully there's nothing else to come of this other than just that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So so Gojo gets to theorizing on how exactly they're going to make the costume, because the costume is it's a little, it's not like super eccentric like some of the other cosplays that we've seen, but it has a theme to it where it's supposed to give off the idea that it's kind of nonchalant and basic, but it still has that uniqueness of being a club host design. So Gojo and Maureen are figuring out ways to make that whole thing happen. And once Gojo, I thought it was a funny scene, because initially Maureen said she's going to do it herself. Once Gojo tells her that he's not going to have that much time to work on it. And, Gojo gives off the plans and directs her what she needs to buy. And she goes off on her own. She does that. And then, we get the scene with the friend or the classmates and everything. They tell Gojo, get the fuck out of here. Do what you need to do. Focus on Maureen. And he was like, oh, well, damn, I already sent her to buy supplies. And then everybody said, no, what have you done? Everybody knows that Maureen she is trash when it comes to buying stuff that she needs. Which, yeah, we already see it in her eating habits.
Yeah. She I don't know if it's like she's scatterbrained or if she gets easily distracted, but it's definitely one of those things where, okay, gotta get this, gotta get that. Ooh, look at this pretty little pink tote. I'm gonna just goes around and get something like that. Yeah, she could be a bit ADHD or something.
Yeah,
I could see it.
Yeah, so she definitely needs Gojo in terms of just having some type of direction, because she can go all out of bounds and just go crazy. So they end up linking with each other again, and really,
with the old man.
Yeah, he's back. But really, that was pretty much the episode.
Yeah, pretty much. They did have a couple of instances where they were talking about how they would make the costume and like, oh, we could do this to make you look taller. Maureen mentioned, oh, well, Gojo does have all my measurements already, and she got embarrassed kind of by that and got all red-faced like, tee-hee. Well, I guess he would know. But yeah, like other than that, yeah, it was the whole episode was, this is essentially leading to a brand new cosplay. It includes the, the culture festival and everything and how they're going for first place and where they're going to gun for it. But all in all, this is new cosplays can be built. And it's honestly pretty much it.
Yeah. Decrepit Storm says, let me read some of the stuff. He definitely would have found a way to do both, even if I read that. Kill/pass Prez host. Pass?
I'd kill it.
Oh, the show.
Yeah. It looks boring. Know. I'd kill it.
I don't know. It
had that one looked more interesting with the bunny girl.
It had that. It did, but it had that one lady that I probably would have liked. She would have probably been my favorite character, the one that was yelling at the other guys at the end.
Oh yeah. I would protect her with my life. Yeah. Yeah. It just. I mean, I know it's an anime within an anime, but based off of just the anime itself, it just looks generic.
Yeah, I could see that. And he says, if only we could have seen the outfit Maureen would have made. He should have bought a clown suit or something because he likes the colors.
We. Well, we also saw how well her stitching was from episode 1 as well. And Gojo was like, oh, no. This is all wrong. This looks like garbage. This is shit. What even the fuck is this stitch? And this and that. And then he looks up and sees poor old Maureen just doing the sad puffy face.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, it was pretty self-explanatory. A lot of explaining of the costume, really, and then it had I felt like it was a long just introduction to the show within the show.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I scammed through it. I'm like, how long is this?
Yeah.
Are we gonna watch a whole episode? What's going on?
Yeah, we
I
had
felt like it was like 5 or 6 minutes.
yeah, we had a lot of that. Yeah, probably like 5 minutes or so. So
Mhm.
I mean, we don't really got to talk about that because it's not really important to anything that's going on with our characters. Again, it's just there to really explain why Maureen is in love with these characters and why she likes the show, because it was something that moved Gojo. You know, he was crying about one of the scenes that he saw. So yeah. Well, I guess it's to motivate Gojo and Maureen, show us why they're as gung ho about doing these cosplays or making a cosplay. But that about sums up this episode of My Dress Up Darling Season 2. Another good episode, I would say.
Mhm.
But it is time to move on to The Family Man Sakamoto, episode 14.
Nice. Oop, I went too far. Yeah, I forgot to bring this up, but this past Comic-Con, a lot of people dressed up as Sakamoto. If you're like an older man who's like a little chubby and bigger, they just put on the wig for the grays, they put on the fake mustache, and they wore the glasses, and they put on the apron. I'm like, it's a perfect costume. And I saw a lot of people dressed up like that who were maybe, no, not everybody can be like the sculpted model and everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. It's very cool just to have a prominent character who doesn't have like a crazy body build. Like you're not looking like, because sometimes like either, especially with a lot of the male characters, it's either, I guess female characters too. It's either you're looking like you're anorexic clamp characters, like you're in Code Geass or something, or you're looking like goddamn, Inosuke from Demon Slayer, ripped everywhere, abs, muscles. And sometimes you just have people built like Sakamoto, and I think it's cool that people with that build can still cosplay a character that's popular, because there's body types everywhere, but
For sure.
that doesn't, a lot of those characters that have different body builds probably aren't characters that people will really like. So, prominent character with a build like that's very cool.
Absolutely. And that was apparent in this whole episode, but we'll get to that in a minute. First off, we see kind of like the recovery. I love how you have it in here. Maya is a young 98-year-old that can heal any wounds. And yeah, that's, first of all, she's 98 years old. Good for her. She's still smoking. Doesn't give a fuck. She's like, kill me. And, puts in the acupuncture for Shin. Shin's a big baby. Helps everyone else out. Even helps massage Sakamoto and everything. She's a healer. She did her job.
Yeah. I like how with Lou, she's like, oh, I don't feel too good. And then she's like, yeah, just take this. You're just hungover.
Yeah, that's what Shin said. You're just hungover. What are you doing? And she's like, I'm feeling better already. You drunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get their heels back or whatever. You ever had acupuncture?
No.
Would you ever?
I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably act like Shin. The thing is, I'm not like scared of needles, but just the idea of acupuncture is just like, I don't know if I want that though.
Yeah, I'm kind of weird about needles as well. Like I had to be held down to get shots when I was a kid, so I hate needles. But it's definitely one of those things where I heard by a lot of people that it helps with like sore muscles or achy joints and whatnot. And I'm just like, maybe I'll try it one day, but it's always just the whole pull the trigger to actually try it, because I'm like, I don't know, it's needles inside me.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. Because I'm just afraid I'm going to be that one freak accident where they go, oop, we struck a nerve, and then my body's permanently like this or something, you know?
Just don't watch one of those Final Destinations before.
Oh. Oh, any Final Destination movie, new or old. You just think twice about anything. Like the log truck, the putting your hand in a garbage disposal, just anything. You're just
elevator.
Like, elevator.
Being on the PC, riding a roller coaster.
A roller coaster too. On a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't help my anxiety. No. But anyway, all that stuff is happening. Everybody's getting a nice little massage. Minimalist shows up. I love that. Sasuke, you're on point with your notes this week. Shows off how tough he is to a convenience store clerk. He goes and like crushes this cash register in front of who we assume was fuck, what's Sakamoto's wife's name?
Aoi.
Hold on, I know it's Aoi. Okay. But it wasn't her. I think we kind of like hinted at that the last episode where it was like, oh, could it be? And I was like, it's darkly lit. And I don't know if Sakamoto would just be like, oh, yeah. Just, there's murderers looking everywhere for these people. Just keep my wife and kid in this freaking place. Sure. At least he has some sense when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. But no, it's actually Nagumo. He was pretending to be her the whole time, and I knew it was him when she didn't freak out over the fact that he crushed the cash register, because the thing out of his mouth was, "What happens to the money?"
The funny part is, though, it still would be believable even if it was her actually, just because she knows about Sakamoto being an assassin. So I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't that impressed by seeing some other supernatural feats because of how crazy he is. I know he doesn't show that side to himself to her like that, but I like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if she was like, okay. Because remember when the guy tried to kill Sakamoto, the hard-boiled guy, and then she literally just shit-talked him and was like, hey, stop trying to kill each other. We're a family. You're
right. And this is the same woman that literally jumped off of a building to prove a point. So you're right. Okay. But for some reason, it still made me think that it wasn't her. And it turns out that, yeah, it wasn't, because, Nagumo just got his arm and, shifted back and everything. Wow.
It was funny, though. Just the idea of her just looking at something like that and just going, like, are you going to leave a tip at least, or what is going on here exactly?
That is actually really impressive. The cash register is this fucking big, and you turned it into that. But what's going to happen to the money? I need that money.
I just like this is a weird way to flex on somebody. Just he doesn't even say nothing. He's just like.
Imagine crumpling up a piece of paper and doing the same thing. You see this? Yeah.
Yeah,
what now?
Cool. Just like how nobody cares about it. But
yeah.
I mean, they kind of cut off that fight for a little bit, but I mean, the conclusion of it is exactly how we thought it would be, considering this Nagumo. They already touted him as an S-class bounty, so we know how strong Nagumo is. And yeah, he just fucking the thing about Nagumo is he's not going to kill you quick like what's my boy's name? The
one that did the punch and popped the dude's head like a zit?
Hyo. The one with the metal jaw. Hyo just kill you. He doesn't have time for all the flair. He's just a big guy, kill you really quick. Shishiba's also very efficient in that way. Just go through somebody's head with the hammer, just get it over with. He's not really a talker. Nagumo loves talking. He loves talking. He loves trolling. So he's going to beat you and then break you down completely. Like
Basically embarrass you before you die.
There's a point in the fight where he just disguises himself as him, like in a reflection of the refrigerator. It's like, why did he do that?
No point. Just to fuck with him. Yeah, I mean, it was so one-sided. You almost kind of felt bad for the dude. Dude can crush cash registers, but he couldn't lay a finger on this guy. And yeah, he was like, his weapon's pretty cool. It's like a Swiss Army knife of like, I have a wide array of weapons. Which one do you want me to kill you with? Pick a number between 1 and 6. I'm like, dude, that is gnarly. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, you don't want to pick one? Here, let's roll the dice. And he essentially just puts the dice in his mouth, sticks out his tongue. 3. Okay. You get the can opener. It's just, what the fuck?
Yeah, it is very reflective of his whole gimmick of being a master of disguise, someone who can just, he's one of those, he is a Swiss Army knife in a way that he's whatever is required. Like whatever disguise he needs to get the job done, he'll do it. He's a person that has like almost no personality in the sense that he's whatever he wants. You know, he's like a ditto essentially for all my Pokemon people out there.
That's a good one.
So yeah, Nagumo, interesting character, but minimalist. Sorry, brother. You just ran into the wrong person.
Yeah, in any other series, maybe you could have been a great villain, but yeah, all these villains that escaped jail or prison are not they are not doing well. They're doing their job, and that's to show what everybody else's strengths are, and that's essentially what it is.
Yeah, we do have a part who's faring a lot better, but the thing is, he's fighting someone who's weaker than the other order members, because Sakamoto's strong, but when it comes to the order's the upper echelon, and Sakamoto has to work himself to get back to the level that he was in his prime. Because in his prime, he was in the order. He was comparable to Nagumo, but now he's not that. So we get a legitimate number as to what his strength is from Miss Mia, which is she goes to say he's like 30% of what he was in his prime.
Damn.
So he's just not at that level. If this guy apart fought any one of the order, he probably would have got destroyed very quickly. But because he's fighting Sakamoto, it's more of a fight. We're still going on with the fight, but yeah,
and this one also because he's in fat mode.
Yeah, well. Yes, but now we're getting this thing. We got what you want at EA, which is for him to stop relying on the skinny form. Which, yeah. Now he's happy about that. He's adjusting to his weight and fighting in that way because he kept trying to rely on how he was in the past. You know, when he was built that way in his prime, but now he's trying to fight as he is now.
Yeah, I'm happy for that. I'm glad they make that decision because I'm just like, I was asking for it in the first half, and now in the second core, it's, all thanks to, the old lady, the therapist. He just kind of like gave him a nice little elbow to the gut, and I guess reset his button or something. Because he was just like, thanks, ow. That was painful. No. But yeah, no matter how many sit-up or squats or whatever he was trying to, he couldn't get skinny. And I just love that just like montage. Okay, I'm good. How do I look? Yeah. Holds up a mirror. You're still fat. Just like, damn it.
That was another thing too. I know he's not really that important as this whole thing. But Heisuke was the one who shot the first shot when it came to this battle. You know, he saw a part who was about to randomly kill somebody for whatever reason, and then just shot him.
He wanted to get to know him.
Yeah. And then he alerted Sakamoto and set this whole thing off. So that was Heisuke's contribution to this whole thing.
Yeah, he did his part. I almost thought he was gonna die, honestly. But a part did what all good villains do, and they monologue and don't kill. And that's just essentially what he did. And then got saved in just the nick of time. And he did his thing. He's down a gun now. Goodbye, sniper.
Yeah, he can get a new one. Sakamoto has to buy one though. He can't buy it.
I would say he's broke. That guy can't even afford a $2 pork bun. You know, he has to look sad and go, pork bun, get this pork bun and get out of my face.
Yeah. But that was pretty much the episode. We're continuing on with
fighting.
That. Yeah. So let me ask you this. One thing that's been constant thus far is the Order are killing the inmates, the escape prisoners. That's been a constant with Saw. Kyo kills him. With Dump, Osaragi kills him. Technically, Shishiba didn't kill anybody, a part of the escape prisoners, but he was with Osaragi at the very least. A part is still here, and then Nagumo kills Minimalist. So, do you think one of the Order is going to continue this trend, or what happens to a part basically?
Well, it can only, to me, lead to one thing, and he would have to be the next one to die. I mean, it did kind of leave off on an interesting cliffhanger where, you know, a part was just like, I've never felt this way about anybody. You've made me feel like better than most people I've ever fought, and you're the longest person I've lasted with. Kind of sounds
kind of gay,
a certain way, kind of gay. But he's like, would you allow me to hear me out? And Sakamoto was just like, I ain't got time for that, as he literally pulls off a fucking metal beam and is ready to fuck him up. But maybe during that fight he'll mention something and he'll say something, and maybe they'll kind of like delve into the whole prisoners and why they even got released to begin with, and slur and all that stuff. That's the only thing I could think of. But I still think he's going to die. If we have everybody else dying, it would make sense, but he's the final one to go.
So, with that being said, do you think, I'm getting a call, do you think one of the Order takes him out?
One of the Order. Well, we obviously haven't seen the old samurai man yet. We've seen everybody else. Well, and I guess Shishiba. We haven't seen him either, other than the funny after credits episode thing that happened. But I would say if anyone does kill him, it won't be Sakamoto, but it will be, for some reason, the old samurai guy comes out of nowhere.
Sakamoto,
because we haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, he's been visibly absent.
So that would only make sense because we've seen everyone else except for him. So that would kind of make sense. And like I was saying, Shishiba, I don't know if he'll be there because that funny after credits scene where all he was trying to do was just eat in peace, and Osaragi, yes, I agree, is slow or stupid or however you want to put it, a little dim-witted. Would you like some ramen with your cilantro? Jesus Christ, cilantro is so bitter and nasty. It tastes like soap. And she just piles it on.
She has like no awareness at all. I think the monster from the summer Hikaru died is more human than her. It seems like she's just coasting. She's like, this is what humans do, right?
Right.
fucking emotes or something.
She fucking could be like a monster deep down, and we don't know because she doesn't have any emotions when you really think about it. It's just all just that dreary-eyed stare, the very monotone how she talks, and then just, yay, I'm gonna fight this guy. Yeah, so
I mean, she said that she loved Dump, so this one thing.
Daisuke. Yeah, she loved her because she gave her purpose and then just immediately cut her in two. So,
Well, that about covers majority of everything that happened in the episode. It seems like we're about to end this arc with the inmates, and I don't know if we're going to lead into more information about Slur, because that's the whole thing that everybody's looking for. Everybody's looking for Slur. Apart is the last one standing, so will Sakamoto beat him? Will Takamura interrupt? Will somebody else come into the fray? Shishiba technically hasn't killed any of the inmates, so
true. He's probably busy dealing with Osaragi to not even like this. God damn it, where'd she go?
yeah,
Oh, did you just murder somebody?
like a lost kid.
Just come, snaps his finger. Come here.
Well, we are moving on to Dandadan season 2, episode 5. EA, I'm about to abandon you because I need to get a package really quick. It'll only take a minute.
Alrighty. Hope y'all enjoy Satsuki. Or no, it's just me at this point. So yeah, we got the brand newest episode of Dandadan, and I'm just gonna say first and foremost, we got a return of Ira, and I know C Tactics was happy when this episode came out, but as for me, a great episode. But I just did not give a shit about Ira because she was there at Seiko's house with everybody. Like every single buddy was there that helped fight in this great fight, and there's Ira in the corner just going, "I helped," and then eating, and she didn't even do anything. And yeah, that was a bit annoying, but yeah, what can you do? It is what it is. So, Satsuki's back with his wonderful package. Oh, look, he's got some kind of adapter.
Yeah, it's the adapter for the hard drive for the old PC.
Yeah. So like I was saying, Satsuki, our favorite character in the world returned in this episode, Ira.
Yeah, your favorite character.
My favorite fucking character. I love how she got to eat with everybody and she didn't even do shit. She was the one that was a part of the project and didn't contribute anything. And still got credit.
Get the wings. Yeah. I mean, I did like in the part of the episode with Ira, her classmate shunning her. This gonna sound wrong, but I just
No, I love it.
I just like the fact that there was, of course, repercussions for what she did, and it seems like she's ready to face those consequences head on. So I think that's genuinely a good moment for her character to, because she's always kept up that fake persona, and now it's like I don't know, it's kind of freeing in a sense that she doesn't have to act as fake as she did. She could just be herself.
Yeah,
because there's no more pressure on her.
I will admit that was nice, because it's essentially a you reap what you sow type of thing, and she didn't even have to cop to it. And I remember in the first season, she was like, "Yeah, I made up those lies. Momo is not a whore. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say all that stuff. And yeah. As soon as she walked in, she was like, "Yeah, hello," and they just all turned around. They didn't even pay her any mind. It's like, get away. It's funny because she's not that same character, but she's from that same universe.
Yeah.
Did she have a catchphrase, Aroha? I don't think she did, other than saying senpai.
No, it was just the whole thing of denying.
Oh, right, that was the thing. Sorry, I can't date you. I don't have a thing for you. I was just talking really fast.
Yeah.
And then Hachiman's like, I wasn't even trying to ask you out, you weirdo. But yeah, that was great. This is the season, Satsuki, where we get photorealistic food in anime.
Yeah,
because
that was weird. What was that?
They had food at the beginning, itadakimasu, and then they were just, I'm like, okay, that's photorealistic. Oh, that's animated. Okay, that's interesting. And then they did that later in the episode where essentially it was the same thing, but with just different food. And I was like, okay, this is an interesting season where we just get photorealistic food, whether it's cooked or uncooked chicken.
That was scary.
Yeah, I was taking it back a moment. I was like, wait a minute. Oh wait, no. That's photorealistic. Okay. Oh, is everything good?
Yeah, it's hooked up now.
Everything is.
I have the power. I don't know if it's actually working. Actually, hold on.
Okay. At the very beginning of this episode, Seiko tries to exercise evil eye. And I thought it was so incredibly funny. She's doing this chant, she's doing this prayer and everything, and then opens it up, and Evil Eye's just like, I will murder all of you, close.
Yeah, it was, to me, what it kind of reminded me, or what I thought of when it was all happening, I thought of just like them, I don't know, constantly like looking at a microwave to make sure the food was hot enough. They kept going like, not good enough.
Yeah.
Not
I will destroy your whole race. I will just stop closing. Stop opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work though. They just kept him in that body for a while. But essentially, Gigi did return. But it was through a very interesting way that they found out, and it was because Gigi had hot water splashed onto his face, and he came back and got his body back. And I think Seiko had an idea of what was going on, because she was like, I think Gigi is back, but we got to do a test. And, she threw cold water in his face, and Evil Eye came back, and he was ready to fuck shit up. I'm going to destroy humanity. Throws hot water back in his face, and then he goes right back. So he's a hot and cold person. That's how he transforms.
I was actually a little surprised at how much they were playing up the whole gag factor of Evil Eye and Gigi. That's not to say that I think Evil Eye is a gag character, just that they made so much light of this possession of Evil Eye. It shouldn't really surprise me because it's Dandadan. This show is very, very zany, very wacky, very out there. I think probably next episode we'll start to. The reason why it's kind of like weird for me is because Evil Eye is a very serious character, where it seems like the atmosphere changes with his with his presence, because he's like demands respect. One thing that I did like was Turbo Granny basically telling him, you aren't going to be able to hold him forever. He's the power that we've seen from him was just a tidbit of what he's capable of. He is basically a god. So what you guys are doing with Taro, containing him in this skeletal thing is like, that's only going to last for so long. You guys got to actually deal with him at some point.
Yeah. Turbo Granny, as much as she was a pain in the butt in the first season, she makes a lot of great points. She's, very blunt and very in your face, but she speaks no lies. She only tells truths.
Yeah.
And I guess when it came to Gigi, they had the idea of just, okay, equip yourself with some hot water at all times, so that way you can transform him back. But he was still in Toru's body, while his head was the only thing that was able to like move and be visible. But that was just a fun, really comedic scene where Taro had to learn how to move with him while inside his body.
Yeah.
And then Toro was just ahead, just navigating.
And then like he was hugging his parent, or when his parents were hugging him, I should say, he just stood there, just like stiff. He was like, and then Momo was like, "Can you hug them back or something?" He's like, "Bro, it's hard to just move your body and nothing else." Which I mean, not that I've gone through that, but I can imagine that's a hard thing. Yeah.
I mean, he eventually did. He like made him do like a little dance or something.
The parents were like, "The fuck? You that?
Oh God!
I'm glad that you're glad to see us."
Yeah, I didn't know you were so happy enough to start breakdancing. Holy shit! Yeah. Oh God, which one?
Listen.
Oh yes. Okay. No, I know what you're gonna say. Where's mine? I'll just have my water. Cheers.
Cheers.
They did it, everybody.
The Keto family is behind bars. Thank God they arrested this family. They are a stain on society. And
no redemption arc.
Yes, that's great. Lovely stuff. I don't know where it was. At one point, we were speculating whether they were human or not. And I think like early on, I was like, I think they're fucking aliens or something.
Right.
I was
and
like,
it's because they looked gray. I was like, that's not a normal look.
And then their eyes. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was me looking at Wikipedia. I don't know if it was somebody in the chat that said something. But at some point, we gaslit ourselves into thinking they were human. And then this episode, fucking Mama Keto rips off her face and goes like, "The subterraneans will have something to say to you, Momo." And I'm just like, well, now I'm 100% sure that she's not human.
just a little hunch. I don't think that person's human. Not anymore. But yeah, that was crazy. Like, it was a well animated scene too, because I was like, why is she pissed? She's just pissed off at some shrubbery or some bush. Like, just pissed off at everything. And then like everything's like in the shadow lit, and she just takes off her wig. I'm like, oh, she's bald? And then it just turned into more stuff coming apart. I was like, oh, she's not human.
Yeah. And given that scene, because she said she spent a whole bunch of time feeding that thing. So that gives me the impression that the whole Keto family thing wasn't even real for this character. It was just something that she did to cultivate this family that would do her bidding. And she doesn't even worship the earthworm as a god or anything. It was just a tool for something bigger, which means that this character is going to be a bigger antagonist than they were in this arc, because they're definitely coming back, especially if they represent
for sure
the subterraneans. And we're constantly building up to more and more tension with them and Momo. So
yeah,
this may just be like a calm before the storm type of thing with her. Yeah, very interesting design, very cool look.
I'm curious to see what they're gonna do because it definitely adds another layer. Who we thought these people were just humans. No, they are aliens. They are these weird, crazy looking creatures, and Momo likes to make a lot of enemies. she burns every bridge she crosses. Turbo Granny, these people, the weird sex alien things, couple other things. Like Momo's just got a list out for her at this point.
Yeah. The one it was like a sumo alien thing.
Oh yeah, like in episode 3.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah, well we're constantly building up with a whole bunch of these like weird entities, and they're brewing beef with her. So
and Okarun's just there for the ride. He's literally just like, I think you're cute, but damn girl, stop stepping on all these aliens and spirits' toes.
Yeah.
It's too much for me to handle.
But we have a sleepover at Momo's. Everybody's there, because they want people to keep Gigi, or I should say Evil Eye, in check so he doesn't take over Gigi's body. Which that whole cold water thing is just such a hard thing to navigate. I couldn't see a viable way to avoid something like that. Like imagine everything because in general you're going to deal with more liquids that are room temperature or colder than that. So if
your body is like certain percentage liquid anyway, so it's just like
we saw the whole soy sauce thing. It's not like the soy sauce was fucking freezing cold or anything. Again, this is room temperature stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So if it's room temperature and anything else, you can't even go into the shower to check how cold the water is. You have to literally just wait there and go like, I know it's hot enough. You got to see the steam first.
Right. There's the steam. Okay, I'm going in. Scalding hot. Jesus, no. That just is just. Yeah, it's definitely a terrible idea. Imagine what would you do if it rained? If you live somewhere where it was more a tropical setting than anything, and it's like colder. Yeah, there's no way.
I hate the way my brain works. I immediately went to he can't get a blowjob.
Oh. Yeah, the dude couldn't get no BJ. It's like, hey girl, why don't you suck on this? Okay.
I will destroy all of you.
Wait, this wasn't what I signed up for. Oh my god. But no, you're right. The moisture alone just from that would just
Yeah.
Why is your body glowing purple? Holy shit.
You humans, I wanted you to bow down to me, but for you to put your mouth on a god, Evil Eye.
That could sway him to love humanity if she does a good job.
Maybe you humans do have a use.
And that's the thing that cures everything is a nice BJ.
I mean, what can it cure?
I mean, can't go wrong there with that logic for sure. But yeah, at the very end, we get the fake out miss, and then the fake out drop of soy sauce actually getting on to Gigi's skin, barely even like a thimble of just anything, and then just turns right back. And I'm pretty sure that house is fucking gone because that table got flipped up, and then you just see the house on the outside, just everything inside just exploded out. So I'm just like, no, this is bad.
Yeah, this is such a weird thing to deal with. Going back to what I said last podcast, I just think what needs to be done, because they're trying to find ways to exercise him. I don't think he's going to be exercised. I think Gigi is going to have to he's going to have to lease his body essentially, where and kind of contain him in a way where it's like, all right, listen, man, humanity's not that bad. Listen, I'm a human and I wanted to be friends with you. I wanted to play with you. He has to tame him.
Yeah.
I just can't
Look at
see
this girl over here. She wanted to give you a BJ.
Yeah. She's cute, right? Yeah. But it has to be, I don't think they're going to be able to exercise him. Seiko is I won't say she tried her best necessarily, but she's tried and I just can't see it succeeding. I don't think an exorcism is what's going to get him away. I think Gigi himself is going to have conversations with Evil Eye and persuade him. Not to the point, because I don't think Evil Eye will ever get to the point where he thinks humans are good. Maybe that's something that happens at the end of the series, but I think he's going to have to get him to ease off, really. Just chill out, man. Humans ain't that bad, you know?
Yeah. I mean, look. I'm doing it with you. Come on. Let's just chill. Let's just do this.
Oh.
And we could be friends.
Yes.
He's just like, oh, wow. I haven't felt this way in a millennia. Oh, my.
I could see them all doing together. Like, Dandadan is that ridiculous that it would.
Oh, my God.
It would have all of them do that.
Seiko, Momo, Okarun,
Like,
Ira, and
Turbo
even Turbo
Granny.
Granny.
They're crazy. In there like that.
She's like, I'm not going to do it. And then, like, one of them's forcing her to do it. She's like, stop it. Stop it.
But,
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Oh, we didn't talk about this. So, sorry, Momo fans. Sorry, C-Tactics, anybody. We found out Momo's a slut, essentially.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, you know what I mean.
Oh, because of the hand?
She tried to fuck in a car with her grandma.
No.
Man.
No, that's not fucking. She's just trying to hold his hand.
That's the
Oh, you know what? You're right. Holding hand is the last stage.
It's cold. It's cold, EA.
I'm sorry. You're right. That is the final stage in the love making process is the holding hands part. You're right. I forgot about that.
They just jumped all the steps. Just said fuck it, and I don't know what happened to her. I don't know if a lust demon took over her body or something, but she just said fuck this. And because Okarun, he's like, no, I don't want to have sex with you with your grandma right here. And then she's like, no, Okarun, we need to. It's like, whoa. But yeah,
they just went under like an underpass, and then that's when she tried to sneak in a quickie.
Yeah, it's dark enough.
Just like, it's dark enough. They won't hear anything as long as you be quiet. Wait, Momo, what do you? Shut up. You love this. Oh God. Getting into that territory.
but on a serious note, I like this. Yeah. It's not playing with the idea that they aren't going to be a romantic item. I don't think this is a romance series, so to speak, but I think when it comes to the romance between Momo and Okarun, they've been doing a good job of building up to it and just letting it naturally play out. Of course, Okarun's being resistant to it. That's fine. But yeah, like Momo is trying to be affectionate. It's not like this is her first time being in a relationship. So that's also another thing that's unique with a lot of romance series. With a lot of romance series, when the characters get together, it's always both of the person's first relationship.
Right. They just stand and look at each other and go, I don't know what to do. Do you? No.
Yeah.
Let's just stare at each other.
Yeah. But with Momo, like I said, she's been in a relationship before already. So it's kind of like she's trying to get closer to Okarun. Okarun's being a little resistant, understandably so, given his whole background. But in general, they're showing more and more progression, and it feels natural, and it just feels I guess rewarding too. Just that they're taking strides. You know, that's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely very natural, and it's something that I feel like, it's not out of the realm of that's how teenagers would act if they, experiencing love for the first time. You would just go for the hands and hug them and tell them that I'm so glad that you're okay, and it's not one of those, huh? Could you speak into my good ear? What did you just say?
Yeah.
No, it's obvious there's a chemistry between them, and they're not like trying to like, I'm just kidding. No, there's tension there.
Yeah, and it makes it clear that both of the characters kind of make it clear that they care for each other. Momo may still be like embarrassed about it, and so does Okaroon, but they're being very visible with their feelings. It's not the whole Tsunade thing where it's like, I don't really care about you. If you would have died in the magma, I would have laughed.
Right. It's not something like that. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just being real. It's just being real, which we need more of.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoyed that. Pretty solid episode. It's what a hell of a cliffhanger. Jesus. And now I'm just like, what's gonna happen? I'm waiting for it now, Sasuke. I'm waiting for everyone to start doing this in unison so that they calm down.
I don't know. I mean, they all have their equipment ready to splash them at any given notice. But I can imagine that Evil Eye's been hearing them talk about all this preparation they're doing, so he's going to be wary of it.
Yeah, I think he's going to be onto it all, and both of them, Okaroon and Iroh, are going to transform into their fighting stances, and they'll try to fight Evil Eye, and I'm sure there's going to be some of that going on.
Yeah.
Well, and Momo doing her thing.
Yeah, for sure. But moving on from Dandadan, we are here to talk about a romance series that I think has really been showing its stuff, and that is none other than Kaoru Hana, episode 4. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My gaydar is not broken yet. It still works.
Well, okay, yeah. She's just a very concerned friend that's really obsessive over her. But doesn't want to sniff her hair. Yeah,
I feel like if it wasn't a romantic light or something, I don't think she would have just outright asked if Rintarou and Kaoru were dating. She would have probably kept being really, what's the word? She would have been in denial about it, I think, if she had romantic feelings for her. But it's more of an admiration thing where she looks at Kaoru as a hero, because she stepped in when she was being bullied about her hair, something that she's very insecure about. And that brief backstory told us both of her insecurity about her hair and why she has this, she has so much animosity for men because it was boys who were picking on her. So, Kaoru steps in and says, "No, I think your hair is very beautiful." And, and I'm sure there's more moments, but that is the thing that Subaru remembers for why she has like this crazy respect for Kaoru. And yeah, it does kind of go on this, it borders on obsession. We're not talking yandere yet, because she did have some of them looks.
She had some of them looks, but also was stalkerish, like a yandere this episode. She just so happens to be passing a coffee shop where she sees Kaoru at, and our boy Rintarou, and then all of a sudden, just as soon as they go their separate ways, she grabs the backpack and goes, "Meet me at the coffee station." No, No, you crazy.
The Batman. I said she was like a slasher villain, but I think the Batman thing is more accurate.
Do I have a choice? No. You have to go and you have to meet us for coffee. And I'm going to tell you to stay away from Kaoru.
Yeah.
I hate men.
So that was a oh my god. No. I'm not going to go into that yet. I'm not going to go into that yet because it's a moment I really like, but I'm not going to go into it yet. So reset from the very beginning. Rintarou is very excited about his date with Kaoru. He is, and this is what I mean, because I said this last podcast. I think this series does a really good job of getting you into the mindset of what it was when you were younger and you had the young love, the puppy dog phase of being in a relationship where you're super excited about text. You're hanging on to every word. You're fucking jittery about the first date and whatnot. It's not even a date, but he's so excited to be, near her and everything that he's like, I can't sleep. I've been looking at this text for all this time. And it just gets you back into that feeling of being like, damn, because you kind of, the novelty of that starts to, it's not that you love that person less, but the novelty of those moments starts to lose over time, and also like the more relationships you've been in and whatnot. But no, it was really just a cute thing to see. And obviously both of them were very excited about this because we see Kaoru and she is dolled up. She's changed the hair. She's in great clothes, while Rintarou just looks like he's about to go to the fucking Walmart or something.
Yeah, Rintarou. Yeah, no, it's definitely the young love. They're both happy for one another, and it's obvious at this point. If somebody were to just be on the outside looking in, it's like, just kiss already. Just go out, just do whatever it is you do, because it's obvious you two have a thing for one another.
Except hold hands, don't do that.
Right, because that's blasphemy. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they have that study session. I guess they did it all fucking day, because he woke up at like early in the morning, and then like the sun was going down, and he's like, God, I couldn't believe I sat for that long. Jesus.
Yeah.
And okay, we'll see you later, Snatch.
Just gets dragged into a dark alley. What do you want,
Right, and then
Kaoru?
Where are the other drugs going? What are you talking about?
Where's Kaoru? What the fuck?
Where's Kaoru? Where are they? Aren't you the greatest detective of all? This is how you get your information? Where are they?
That's actually a great point. Aren't you the greatest detective?
I mean, that's like one of the... As much as I love the Nolan Batman, it's just... there's like some downsides to it when it comes to like... He's like considered, Bruce Wayne, Batman's considered one of the great detective minds of all time, and he could piece any kind of like missing piece together. And then just have that scene with the Joker and he's just beating him saying, where are they? Where it's just kind of like, is he getting anywhere with this? Because even Joker calls him out and says, you have nothing to threaten me with.
It's so funny. That Dark Knight series is great, but one of the big things about that series is Batman. It's so weird. And then you watch The Batman, and it seems like they rectified that a lot with, especially with the detective stuff. They they double down on that and said, no, we're going to make him classic Batman. You're going to see the detective stuff. You're going to get the deductions. We're not going to rely on all these gadgets to make him be able to figure things out.
Yeah, definitely restored it. Definitely different. Enjoyed it very much so. So Subaru does her best Batman, yanks Rintarou, and they go to a coffee shop, and then that's when Subaru asks the questions. are you guys a couple? Are you dating? Are you in a relationship? What are you to her? And even Rintaro was thinking about it like, what is she to me? Friend? An acquaintance? A customer? No.
A customer sounds so weird. Sounds like he's selling drugs to her.
I mean, in a way, it is a drug. It's that sweet cake.
For her, it is a drug because she went into that cafe and I wrote it in the notes. I said, Kaoru begins her assault on the cafe's food supply because she gets that menu and she's just locked. You just see her eyes just scanning everything, seeing what you can get away with ordering without looking like a complete fat ass. Because she's a calorie monster.
Yeah, even Rintaro says this girl loves to eat. This girl is just an eater. But yeah, that's a great scene because we have Subaru in her not background. Well, it's a flashback, but it's also her background kind of story of why they became friends and why she feels so close to Kaoru and, you know, like really cherishes her friendship and everything. And, you know, Subaru just pretty much flat out just asks him and says, I don't want to see Carl going down this dark road, which I'm just like, okay. Just because it's with me, it's a dark road. But she just basically says, I don't want you to be with, you know, the stuff that we've seen thousands of times before. Stay away from da-da-da because she's she's easily influenced or whatever. I don't know. Just things we've heard 1,000 times.
Yeah. What I like about this show is they take that trope and go in a different direction. Because like you said, we've seen this whole bunch of times. But where they go with it is they have Subaru acknowledge that Rintaro is a good person. She herself, because usually with this whole trope is like, you're bad for her.
Yeah.
We compare it to Shrek. It's like, you're an Olga. It's like,
you could never be with her.
Yeah. But with Subaru is different. It's like she understands. She's like, no, I understand you're a good person. This isn't even a slight against you. I genuinely just want the best for her. And I think you being with her is going to jeopardize her scholarship, which she worked extremely hard for. So it's one of those things that make you go like, because usually when the character does this, it's like, oh my God, here we go with this shit. Another trash character here to just impede this relationship, slow it down. But then with Subaru coming in, I don't get that feeling. I just go like, oh, I understand this. Because her whole thing with her is that, with Kaoru, is that she feels that she's always been on the receiving end of her gratitude. Kaoru's always the one that's doing stuff for her. So she's like, let this be the one thing that I do for her, which is make sure that she maintains or make sure that her hard work comes into fruition and she doesn't lose her scholarship. And to do that, she's willing to make herself the quote unquote villain. Because again, she understands that Rintaro's not a bad person. If he was a bad person, it'd probably be a lot easier for her. And that's why that's why I think I like her, is because you can see the inner turmoil. She doesn't feel good about telling Rintaro to stay away from her. Like you can see it in her facial expressions. She's like, damn, I don't want to do this, but like I feel like I owe this to Kaoru. So Subaru's an interesting character because I don't think I've seen this done like this. I would really have to think about all the series I read and watched, but like you said, we've seen this trope, but I don't know if I've seen it go in this direction.
No, you make a good point. It's definitely different for sure. But I also like the fact that Rintaro stands on his principles. I think that's the part where I didn't know where it was going to go, because it was 50-50 at one point where I was literally like, he's going to say, okay, I'll stop. And it's going to be this stupid thing and it's going to drag on for 8 episodes. It's going to be lame and I'm going to hate it. but he thought about, and I loved how this scene played out too, because he literally thought about everybody saying, you shouldn't, you shouldn't, you shouldn't. Stay away, you can't, you can't. But then the last thing he thought was her. And Carl was saying, I want to be with you. I want to do this, and you should, trust in this process or whatever. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was essentially along the lines of just, I want to know you better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what Rintaro kind of like made his decision, because he thought of that and he told Subaru, I can't do that. Sorry. I can't stay away from her because of how I feel. And I just was like, yes. Yes, he didn't tell her though. He just flat out said, nope. I'm still going to be here, even if you don't want me to be.
Yeah, that is a great moment in the series. Probably my favorite moment that we've seen thus far. Not only does he stand on absolute business telling her no, and it wasn't in a malicious way. It's just that, because you can even see in his face, like when he says no, he understands the ramifications of him saying no, because he's hearing her out. He understands that being with her could maybe hurt her potentially in the future. And it's something that probably is going to be brought back up because of something that happens later in the episode. But in that moment, he goes no, because what you said, he trusts in Kaoru and her words and saying that she wanted to know more about him instead of just relying back on what he's been relying on, which is, I'm a Chidori boy. She's a Kikyo girl. Of course we would have friction. Of course this wouldn't work out. He trusts in her words and he trusts in his own feelings, which his feelings is, I'm interested in Kaoru. So, and that's all that matters. He has to trust in his instincts, or maybe not his instincts. He has to trust in, I don't know, I guess like the core, because he's kind of been conditioned into thinking this type of way, where he just believes that everybody's going to treat him like a delinquent. He can't make genuine connections with people depending on where they are. Like, he's making assumptions based on people from being from Kikyo and whatnot. But this is the moment where he just chooses to look at things as they should, as individuals. Kaoru's her own self. She already told him, look at me as who I show you to be, not who you perceive me to be because I'm from this school. That's not who I am.
Right.
So I thought that was a really great moment. I think it's going to be something that gets revisited because something that happens later on. But no,
yeah.
Rintaro's just telling her no. Great moment.
Yeah. I was real happy for that moment too, because this show definitely keeps surprising me. It keeps going what we usually think when it comes to like romances, and we think it's going to go the typical way that it's going to go, and then it does a swerve and it goes, nope, we're going to go the more logical way that makes sense.
Whoa, I've never seen that maneuver before.
Right. It's just, wait a minute, you mean people can converse, have an understanding of one another, but also disagree and come to that understanding and conclusion?
This is witchcraft.
This is bullshit.
That's why I said Kaoru is. I said she broke the rules. That's why the thumbnail was what it was when I made it. Because I'm like, you're not supposed to be able to just talk things through and then resolve it. That's not what high school romances have shown me. You are supposed to drag this out as long as possible, then come to a conclusion maybe 2 episodes or 3 episodes later. You do not resolve shit within the same fucking episode. You're not making us money, Kaoru.
How dare you?
Yeah.
But yeah, great scenes, great moments. As soon as Rintarou was done handling his business, doing that, he's like, man, this has been a long fucking day. Gotta get on the train, gotta go home. And I like this little scene too, because, we get the typical where people are looking at him, oh, delinquent, oh, he's kind of scary looking, but then, you know, Rintaro does what he does best. He's kind-hearted and sees the two girls and gets up and lets them sit. And then the two girls recognize Rintaro from the other day when he got up and let them have the table. And they had the courage. They were probably like middle schoolers. They looked really young.
Yeah, I think they were middle schoolers. And
they had the courage to basically thank him. And they said, hey, thank you for what happened the other day. And they were terrified because, you know, the preconceived notion of this guy's probably scary and he's freakishly tall and going to kill us. But once they kind of like had that little moment of just, oh, he's not so bad. He's just, you know, that was, you know, I really liked that scene. I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, that was adorable, especially to them being scared because it's like, you know, it is understandable for you to look at him and think a certain way about him. I think that's kind of what they're also showing, that it's not necessarily you having these preconceived notions about someone that is bad. It's that the fact that you hold them to it. It's the fact that you don't go past, oh, you learn more about this person? No, you're what I saw you as. No. These two girls think that he's a delinquent. I mean, it makes sense. You see the blonde hair, you see the piercings, you see kind of like the scowl, he's tall. It makes sense why you would have those preconceived notions. But then they get to know him and they go like, no, he's actually pretty nice. But I thought it was really cute that they were scared and they kind of overcame their fears to give him his gratitude. That was really cool.
I wonder if they'll come back or if that was just a one-time thing for them.
Maybe they'll defend him
and thank him. That would be actually really awesome if there was a scene, and I'm not saying this is going to happen because I don't know, but let's just say, I don't know, there's a part where people are just at their wits' end with him and they are like, oh, he's not a blah, 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 and he's scary, he's delinquent, he'll never change. Mm-hmm. And then these middle school girls come out of nowhere. That's not true. This man gave up his table when he didn't have to and gave up his seat on the train. Tell me what delinquent would do that. He is a nice guy.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they were reoccurring characters.
Yeah.
I want to say, what is good, Mini Dan? Mini Dan said, I'm late for Dandadan talk, but not going to lie, the episode was fire. Oh, by the way, good day. What is good? Kaoru Hana has been great so far. It has been very refreshing. I thought just reading the synopsis for this, it was going to be very run of the mill. I've been pleasantly surprised thus far. It's very different from even like the high school romances that I tend to like now, because I'm kind of I've been jaded to the point where I'm like, yo, if they aren't confessing from chapter like 15 onwards, this is ass. I don't want anything to do with it. This series, I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay with this series lingering on with these two not getting together immediately. Like, it doesn't need to be like Insomniacs after school.
Right.
It's just been doing things well. That's the thing. It's been giving you content to where you're not slamming your head on the table going, why are these characters acting like this? It's been very it's just been very great as far as what they've been going for. It hasn't had like some of the typical problems.
No, I agree. And I definitely feel like there are those shows, and maybe I'm just, and I agree with you, because I feel like maybe I'm just, when I get older, I'm getting more impatient when it comes to certain things. Like, I can't wait 300 chapters just for a lady to say, oh, I think I'm interested in her. You know, just, no, I'm not going to be doing that. But when it comes to, like, if it's a good flow and if it's a good, you know, where it's not boring and like it seems like there's development, actual development, then I am fine with that. if this gets to the point where, and you know what, this because I think it's only gonna be 12 episodes. This season can end, and if they don't get together, I'm not gonna be upset as long as it's like we're in a good place where I'm cool with. Now, if this is the same thing where it's, this is the 5th season and we're reaching episode 12 and we're still doing this stuff, that's when I go, okay, this is just to draw out the views and the money and all the bullshit. And are they going to get together? I hate that shit.
Yeah, the will they, won't they thing. I really want, you know what we need to do a podcast on, EA?
What's up? The one you keep suggesting me, the what's a relationship?
Kaguya-sama. Because
that was another one you told me.
Kaguya-sama is kind of drawn out, but it does it in a very unique way that I feel that you might be interested in. So it's one of those. It's one of those. Good. Yeah, it's one of those unique ones. So I would really like to do a podcast with you on that one. But
okay.
Yeah, with this series, I just think that it takes what is a trope or something that we as romance readers, watchers are jaded with, and it just flips it and it makes us go, I guess that wasn't so bad then. When it's done right,
Right.
Like again, Subaru is a character. I can't stress this enough. Subaru is a character that will be hated by the fandom generally. Because Subaru is a character like, for all my citrus readers or watchers, she's like Matsuri. Or I'm trying to think if there's a character like this in Snafu.
Kind of. I'm trying. I would say the blonde girl.
I would say her, or maybe like Yukino's sister.
Ooh, that's a better one.
Yeah, like that ilk where you're just like, oh my god, here's the asshole who's an asshole for the sake of being an asshole.
Yeah.
That's the problem with these characters a lot of times, and then they'll give them a reasoning for why they are, and it's like, oh, it's just tough love, and you go like, I guess whatever. But this character, I just felt like her motivations were fleshed out from the outset. Like this episode, maybe you would have hated her last episode, but this episode just made it very clear where her positioning is. It showed her in a vulnerable state of her not necessarily wanting to be the bad person. I think that's the problem with these character types. It's like they'll be like, I had to play the villain to protect her. But it's like, it seemed like you wanted to play the villain. It seemed like
you were too good at that.
With Subaru, it seems like when he says no, that he's going to keep seeing her, she doesn't fight it. She just says, I knew you would say that. That's it. That's unique. I typically don't see this. It's generally refreshing. That's what I like about the series thus far. It is making me, good, who is very jaded with this specific setting of high school and genre of romance. It's making me go, damn, I guess I haven't seen it all.
Yeah. It just goes to show you that if done right, you can get an actual good series. And so far, and I'm not saying like, right, because who knows, it could change.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, it's definitely, it's worthy of the praise that it's been getting. And I understand why people say, if you want to watch or read something that's romance and that's actually good, check this out. And it's doing a great job so far.
The last bit of drama we have is I guess not drama. Well, not yet. Rintarou and Usami avoid failing.
They did it.
Hilarious scene because the whole classroom, that's what made it funny. Not his friends. The whole classroom throws a fucking block party. You see barbecues. You see balloons. You see strippers.
The little poppers. The strippers come sliding down.
Just twerking.
Oh yeah, they passed it. Oh shit.
You just see everything in celebration of the passing. I'm just like, okay, I'm happy. It's a heartwarming moment that everybody's this happy for you, but it also makes me think you guys must be stupid as shit if they're celebrating this hard. Like, imagine this is like a parent. Like, imagine a parent celebrating their kid getting a C for the first time. It's like, oh my god, like, what were they getting before?
All they had was just nothing but that to just hold themselves together. It's like, okay, please, you've got nothing but D's and C's. Let this be your first B. They got it. They did. They gave them sashes. The sashes. Didn't they say something along the lines of like not total idiots or something like that?
It said, what was it? It said, avoided failing.
Okay. So yeah, avoided failing across. Basically, just saying yes, they didn't fucking fail. But there was 2 people that actually did fail, and
nobody cared about them. They told them
no one gave 2 shit. They threw a party for these guys, but those 2 guys, loser, you're a loser.
I failed.
Yeah, no one cares about you, loser. Just throwing money in the air. Oh my god, it's great. Life is wonderful. But yeah, except for those 2 people. Oh, right, because people were fucking around and they knocked over Rintarou's desk and they're like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me help pick this up. Hey, wait a minute. This looks like female handwriting. Rintarou, are you with a woman?
Is that a Kikyo girl?
Is that a Kikyo girl? And you know what we feel about Kikyo girls. They are disgusting. They smell bad. No offense to you strippers, but they're just absolute garbage. And what are you doing? But that's how it ends. It ends literally on a cliffhanger. And I remember watching that going, no, I want to know what happens. I actually want to know what happens.
This is like Bloods and Crips. They are at each other's necks.
Did you hear even the teachers hate each other?
Well, okay. So they said the Kikyo teachers are even more like into this whole thing. And I think I feel like with the students,
one of them move. Someone needs to just demolish one building and just move on the other side of town if they hate each other that much.
I mean, for like a logical perspective, I don't know how the hell one of the most prestigious schools gets put in the same vicinity as a school like Chidori.
That should make no sense.
It's like putting Harvard next to a liquor store. What the fuck?
It's a great example.
But yeah, that's weird in of itself. I'm not really going to argue the logic of that. Whatever is their story. But the teachers are more into this than even the students, which is like, damn, the students kind of treat each other like trash. The teachers are more into it. It gives more validity to what Subaru was saying, which is, I don't want you to be around Kaoru, not because I think you're a bad person, but because I think just the optics of it is going to make one of these teachers freak the fuck out and then get rid of her scholarship. And yeah, they made it a point.
That's straight up bullshit. Just because somebody associates with someone, you're going to drop them and like have their scholarship revoked. It's not like they made a racist tweet or something.
Yeah. But that's the thing. They've shown that Kaoru has worked hard. And because she's on a scholarship, she's not rich. She can lose it all very easily. And that's why Subaru is decided to take on the villain role, essentially, to pit Rintarou and Kaoru apart. Now, how far is she going to go with this? I don't know. Because I feel like at some point she has to understand this is her choice. You know,
Yeah. She's her own person.
Yeah, she wants to take this risk. So like I understand it. I understand her perspective from the point of like, you know, sometimes you have to work against someone's interest or wishes to help them. Like, for example, if someone's a fucking drug addict, I'm not going to go like, they going, yeah, I need another puff. I'm not going to go like, sure. No, like, no, bro. Maybe you should ease off of that.
Right. Maybe you should just take it down a notch.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's one of those things to where I don't know if the whole school ideology is going to change, because this seems like a classist issue with these guys where they just don't want to associate with the poors. And of course, you know, the people in a more vulnerable situation don't want to associate with the people that have it all. So I wonder how that's going to apply to Saku in particular. Because we saw he had that beef with Subaru, and he was really hard. Yeah, he was really mean spirited. Because Usami did the whole thing with Kaoru where he was like, but like what? But with Saku, he was really hitting deep. It seemed like there was some personal things going on with him. So I don't think
I asked you out a long time ago, and you told me no.
That's it. He's just fucking a dweeb or something.
He can't accept it.
But yeah, I feel like now we're going to get into why Saku was so mean spirited towards Subaru. Subaru kind of deserved it, so she was an easy target. But again, there was obviously a little more than her just being an asshole in a moment. Like there's something going on with him and Kikyo in particular. I don't know what it is, but I think we're going to get it next episode. But
yeah,
I will say, if in a normal show, I would look at this moment and go, but in this show, I'm going, how are you going to do it? Like I guess they built up enough trust to where I'm going, I don't think this is going to go in a direction where I just go, this is fucking stupid. Why are we doing this? I think they're going to make this good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll make it good. I definitely think the friends are going to play a big part, especially Usami, who, like I said, he had a huge understanding last episode, did the bowing, apologizing, and everything. So I think he's going to have his back when it comes to this, and I think it's going to, shocker, be resolved that same episode. And it's probably not even going to be a big thing. It's going to, I could see Rintarou just grabbing it and saying, none of your business. And just that's how it ends.
Well, I will say this. I think Saku is kind of like a parallel to Subaru in that they both went at each other when they did. So maybe he has resentment towards women in general.
Yeah,
that would be unique. He would.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe we get a backstory for him and shows why that's the case. But I think it's going to resolve itself in the same way that Subaru resolved itself in that he comes to an understanding within the episode, because Subaru, super overprotective of Kaoru, hates men, still is able to acknowledge Rintarou's a good person. I think the same thing can happen to Saku. Again, if this was another show where it didn't build up enough faith and everything, I would be groaning at a moment like this, dreading the next episode. I'm actually excited to see what they do with this next episode. Same.
This has been a good series so far, and I'm glad. I think it was you, or I don't know. We were trying to pick which series to watch, and that was like one of the most recommended ones. So definitely glad we got the chance to watch this.
Yeah, it was on a short list of 5 anime. So for anybody watching this right now, we had there were a couple of shows that weren't locked in. All those shows are the 3 shows that we're doing now, or are doing from this point on and beyond. Kaoru, Hana, Tougen, Anki. In the summer, Hikaru died. The other 3 shows were locked in because of
we had watched them prior.
yeah. So on the short list was, I can't even name the other shows that were on there. There was one.
There was a bunch.
Yeah, but there was a short list basically, and I'm pretty sure Kaoru Hana was at the top of the short list.
Yeah.
So like for both of us, we went like, yeah, we got to watch this. I think the summer Hikaru died was second.
Was number 2, and then this one scraped by. The next show we're talking about scraped by because of reasons.
Yeah, reasons. But yeah, that about does it for Kaoru Hana. Very excited for the next. I'm actually more excited for the next episode because I want to see again how they conclude this whole thing. Because in general, this would be a bad thing in a lot of anime, but I think this anime is going to resolve it in a satisfactory way. But
I'm looking forward to it as well.
Speaking of satisfactory,
very satisfactory.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk about Tougen Anki episode.
Can I
3.
hear? Oh, hold on. I hit the wrong one. No. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that last one wasn't supposed to be played. I'm sorry. So yeah, we're in episode 3 of Tougen Anki. This is a kill or pass episode. And well, I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of start it out. It's a tuning exam with balls, and people are in teams trying to play tag, but also recover balls. For some reason, we deviate from the whole tag game, and then we just have one of the teams just start fighting each other just to show each other their what did they call it? The thing when it's activated, their powerful prism.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. It is the Blood Eclipse release.
That's it. The Blood Eclipse release. It sounds cool. But that's essentially what happened this episode. We have Shiki, and then the masked dude. One of the cool things about this episode that I'll admit was the masked dude. How he unlocked his blood was really fucking cool, because he had literally stitches and everything all over his arm, and he took his thumbs and just opened it up like that. That was cool. I thought that was cool looking, and how he did that one thing and did it like that. I was like, oh, that's sick. But that's probably the extent of the sickness in this episode. Because can you even tell me what happened? It's just people were just fighting, and they were showing off their blood eclipse stuff.
Before we go any further, I want to read because Mini Dan has been saying a lot of things. So I want to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I want to catch up with that a bit. Where do I want to start? Maybe the typical romance problems will show up very later in the series when it's actually needed, but the way it looks is maybe not going to happen anytime soon. Hopefully. Love is War. Ain't that the comedy with some good romance in it? The dub for is very funny as well, I think. Yes. If you're being up Love is War, you might as well be up 100 Girlfriends as well. Is mainly a comedy anime, but somehow every character is well written in the way. What I heard, the author is still cooking up, even till now with the manga. Any chance of covering Cleves? I'm probably saying that severely wrong, but I've never even heard of that one. I heard it's good. I really need to watch it. Oh, Tougen Anki time. Today is really killer pass for my favorite anime. Thanks season. Mini Dan, I'm not gonna lie. You might want to leave right now. Because there's gonna be some things said. So
like I said, when it comes to this particular episode, it was just a showcase of just two people fighting. When they kind of deviated from the game itself, they just decided to fight. And I don't know how they did it, but they made a character look worse than Useless Miwa with the pink hair. And I was in literal awe. If you make Useless Miwa look great, you're doing something wrong. Because pink hair is the walking trope. Fumbling, stumbling, falling. The ball was right there, but then she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, and then walks in front of these two fighting, going, "I finally read the room." She just almost dies.
Read the room or hear the saw. Like the thing is that big. Like we literally did a truck-coon trope with a fucking saw.
They did.
She went in slow motion. She went. You didn't see that shit? What?
You didn't
it
see
is
the
red.
Fucking trees
it is
exploding.
It is a saw. It is red. It is huge. How the fuck did you just? Well,
I was praying that she was gonna die. I was like, please kill her. The worst fucking character in the history of Bad Guide that serves no purpose other than to apologize. And, God. Just lives because old Shiki saves her. And then she really gets to apologizing so much to where she lets out a blood titan. And it's, there.
Here's the thing. What is good, Midnight? Mom said it's my turn to simp today. I know it's going, but still kind of happy I'm here to see it go. You never know. We might, you know what I mean? The positives are coming. Maureen is best girl of the season. I'm finished simping for now. Is she? Maybe.
I mean,
either her or Kaoru.
Yeah, Kaoru is pretty great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
either one of those two. But this show, man. I think this show would have actually benefited from a slower pace. As weird as that may sound. Like, I don't know how that sounds to you, but I think them trying to go into this whole school aspect was to the detriment of the series. And I really felt this way with this with the character that you were talking about in particular, with Homare.
Oh, Homare.
I think her whole thing of being very incompetent but having a like a really overpowered technique is something that we've seen before. But I think that trope in particular only works when you build up to it. Like, mind you, we didn't know nothing about this character really. We saw her last episode, but didn't really get much from her, you know. So I think with a character like that, because the whole thing with that technique, the novelty of it is that, wait, she's this trash, but she has a overpowered technique like that. That's the whole novelty of it. That's why it works. It doesn't work here because in the episode that we really get to learn about her, you show that she's super overpowered. So it doesn't have any really effect. It's not one of those things to where we go, oh my God, she's way stronger than we thought. Prime example, think about Orihime from Bleach.
Ooh, that's a good one.
She has a very weak power from the outset. She does the whole thing and they attack and it becomes very irrelevant very quick. And then she has this, I reject. And then at first it's just healing abilities and it's like, okay. And then it starts to kind of develop into this thing to where it's like, no, she's not healing people. She's kind of like reversing time or rejecting injury. It becomes like this whole crazy thing. And it's like,
I forgot about that.
yeah, it's like the character that was kind of trash or whatever, didn't really have that much effect on anything, becomes super important. This show would have benefited from kind of like drip feeding us Homare and making that power more, because I think the more that you make her seem incompetent or, you know, not really tailored towards fighting, and then you go bam and, you know, hit her with an ability like this that can rival everybody else, then it becomes more meaningful. Getting this in episode 3 it doesn't do anything for me. It just felt like, all right, I guess. And then it's even worse because Shiki's able to beat it in this episode, which is one technique.
Yeah, one shot too, boom, and then just blows the, like I said, Blood Titan all to shit. And I guess the Blood Titan was also Amore's sister as well. No context, just Oni-chan or Nason or whatever, and it was just okay.
I'm all right with that because I think that's going to dive into something later on with her. Not that we're going to watch it, spoilers, but they
How could you?
They explain the powers with the blood powers that we get are, just to make it simple, it is based on their personalities, whether it be their traumas, whether it be on their hobbies, whatever, is based on their personality. So we can surmise that with Omare's ability that something traumatic happened to her sister. Maybe somebody who wanted to protect her, maybe ended up protecting her and wanted to protect her even after death. Maybe that's how it manifested, or maybe it became something like she was really lonely with her sister that she got separated from, whatever it may be. These powers manifest itself based on the character's personality. The Saw thing with Jin may be something that's related to his father, because it seems like he doesn't have a good relationship with his father, as opposed to Shiki, who wants to avenge his father. And we know the whole thing with Shiki and the guns, because he's collecting guns and stuff. So like all of that stuff is fine, but that's the problem with the majority of the episode. Nothing excited me. I just went with a lot of because this episode, I don't even think it's bad. I just went, this is all right. But I can't keep saying that for all these episodes and still talk about it on the podcast, because there are some things from this season that I think, one of the ones that you're watching, EA, I don't know if it's finished yet because I know it's on a shorter end.
The last episode, they said it was coming out today or tomorrow. I need to check again.
Yeah,
but that one, holy shit.
Yeah, but
it was really good.
There are other shows that we could be watching that I think we would have more to talk about, and we would be more excited to talk about. There's no point in really talking about a show that we just go into and going, we gotta watch this. We gotta talk about this. You know, that's kind of like the cloud that's forming over us when it comes to this show, and it's becoming more and more apparent. That's not to say that the show is bad. I just think right now, from what the anime is showing, because the animation this episode wasn't even great. It was
okay. Like, it was definitely nothing wrong with CG, but it was not really good CG. It was like a mixture of CG and hand drawn, like the ones where you saw him like tearing the arms. Like, that looked good. Mm-hmm. That was like the best animated part of the whole episode. But other than that, everything else was just all right.
Yeah, like it's fine, but that's kind of the issue with all these other things that we're talking about. We have something to bloviate about. We go like, oh, Dandadan is doing this crazy thing, Sakamoto days, dress up dark. Tougen Anki hasn't given us one of those moments to where we've been super gung-ho to talk about it, and I think that's the issue. It could be one of those cases where it gets better later on, but this is the format of the podcast. We talk about 3 episodes, and come to the decision. I think
Yeah.
3 episodes is fair, not in judging a series in all that it is, but I think 3 episodes is fair enough for you to realize at that point whether you want to keep going or not. That doesn't mean that we think Tougen Anki is forever going to be mediocre or mid or however you want to describe it. But from this point, is it a good thing to talk about on this podcast? For me, no.
No. Yeah, it's for me, and I've discussed this, I think the last episode too, where this is just very much the run of the mill shonen. It's, other series have done it better, have done the things that we've come to enjoy better. And maybe this is a series where by episode 8 or whatever, it turns on the juice, and then all of a sudden it hits its stride. And that's fine and all, but like at the same time, if I don't even care about the characters and I'm just like bored watching it, it becomes a chore at a point. And it's just, I feel like watching this episode was definitely a chore. And like I said, it deviated from the whole, this is going to be about tag, and turned into a fight spectacle with one of the dumbest characters that's just in there. And again, I'm sure maybe she's fine later on, but as her introduction, it did not win me over at all. So
I do want to say this one positive thing about this episode with Shiki. I thought it was refreshing that he was very blunt and I guess upfront about his feelings for Homare, where he was like, "Yeah, you're cute." I was like, a lot of shonen MCs do the whole thing where they're either too embarrassed to admit something like that, or
what is this soft thing?
that too, or they're like too horny and just like, all right, you're just being creepy. I thought weirdly enough there was a good balance of that, so I thought that was like something that made me go, oh, maybe I'll probably like Shiki. So that was a thing that I looked at as a positive, where I went, okay, I could definitely it into like his whole thing in this episode. His whole turmoil was realizing how weak he was, but obviously wanted to right the wrongs of that. That's not really unique in of itself, but with someone as prideful as him admitting that, I thought it was a good moment. I just feel like this show would benefit from at least at this point, a little slower pace. I think we should have worked our way into this whole school system. Maybe we get here by episode 4. I think that would have probably worked more. Maybe we get more intimate moments with just Shiki and Naito. I don't know how that whole thing works. I'm not a writer. I'm not claiming to be a better writer than the person who wrote this. But I know that this show is written off, because for me, it's a kill.
Yeah, it's a kill for me as well, for all the reasons explained. And yeah, it just didn't hook me, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
you have been killed.
all right, let's read some comments. Maybe I had to let it cook for a while. From what I heard, the second half / core is best for the series. What about the potential it has to turn around? Imagine your joy if you stuck to it into the good part. Around episode 12 or something, check it out again to see if it's still the same or not. Who knows, the series might pull something big and start trending everywhere. If I'm right, this episode made Tougen Anki get #1 on Japanese Netflix and top 5 global on Netflix as well. Not gonna lie, seeing him cry in this episode was kind of good, because usually characters like him don't cry for shit. Yeah, see, about everything said, this isn't to say that we're banned from watching the show ever again. we've killed shows from this podcast, and we've continued to watch it past the podcast. And sometimes, well, actually, no, technically, this has happened. We have killed a show and brought it back. Demon Slayer. Yeah.
Yep. Because it didn't hit its stride till like I think episode 18, which was like the Spider Demon arc, which I was like, okay, I see why people like this series.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a thing that's happened before, but this is a very reactive podcast in a general sense. Not reactive like we just go again, we do about 3 episodes. So I think at that point you get a feel for what you would enjoy. So that's all it is. So who knows? But as far as replacements or anything, we're not making anything concrete. We're not stating anything right now.
Nope.
Can it be replaced? Sure. Will we think about it? Absolutely. But there's nothing concrete as far as a show getting replaced on the podcast yet. Because we don't just go, all right, we need 6 shows to watch on the podcast. We talk to each other. We go, all right, this might be interesting. Are you interested in it? Fuck no. Okay, we're not covering it. Or yeah, all right, let's try it. That's kind of how the whole flow goes. So will something replace it? Maybe. Is it concrete? Nah.
No. Nope.
So yeah.
All right. On to the final show of the evening. The Summer Hikaru Died. Episode 4. We are now into yet another festival. This is the 3rd festival of the night.
Yep.
And
probably the creepiest festival.
Oh yeah, I would say this is the creepiest festival because this whole thing's just got horror written all over it, and there's definitely some moments where it was depressing in this episode, and I think this was very interesting to say the least. Hikaru is trying to better himself. He's trying to be a better person. And we begin the episode of him feeding a little cat.
Yeah, we got a fat cat again.
We got the fat cat. Originally, that was the cat that took one look at him and just ran away. So he's like, oh, he likes it when I have food. All right, time to pet him. And he gives him a freaking poke right in his like chest. And he's like, oh, fuck. That's not how you do it. It's not how you pet a cat.
It's like what it was like old girl from Sakamoto days. Like he was doing one of those things. Okay.
Yeah.
Hitting a pressure point or something. Oh, just reset his whole system.
And the cat's just like, I'm a person now. That's how he thinks. He's just so reset. But then Yoshiki's just kind of like, she's trying to teach him and everything. It's almost, I don't know, like a monster or like an alien or whatever. Something that you would see in those old school movies where it's just like, no, we don't do that with cats. We don't eat them.
Yeah, it's like Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he's a dog the whole time. It's a pretty doggy. Mm-hmm. That's not a dog.
Midi Dan said, going to be leaving here now because I don't want to get spoiled for the summer. Hikaru died. So yeah, I hope you two have a great day, by the way, and bye. Peace, Midi Dan.
Okay. Later. Take care.
So I don't know if this was supposed to have any relevance. I feel like it does in a sense, but Asako was talking about how some boy called her out, and obviously the implications initially were that some boy was asking her out, but come to find out they challenged her to a arm wrestling contest and then proceeded to lose, which honestly that sounds like a way more embarrassing thing than getting rejected by a girl that you like, because he lost in front of everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's essentially, not only did you lose, but everybody saw it and they're going to remember it. And they're probably going to hold that over your head for the rest of your life. essentially just, well, how did that go? Losing to a girl? Shut up.
Like, imagine he asked her out later or something, and they actually do get together. And like, who wears the pants in the relationship?
You still want to go out with me? God damn, hurt my arm. No, and then just rejects you on top of that. And you're just like, not only did I lose, but I got rejected. Fuck.
Yeah.
That would be horrible, but yeah, that was interesting.
I do think it has some sort of relevance, maybe in how people see her, because thinking about somebody challenging her to an arm wrestling contest, you would think that people would see her more as like a tomboy or something of the sort, because I don't think they're going to ask the quote unquote class Madonna or something to an arm wrestling contest. So they probably see her as one of the guys. So, and the reason why I think that's relevant is because one thing that we start to see with this episode is that this village is very prejudiced. In one of the stories that we get with Yoshiki, where he talks about this guy that Hikaru goes, "Oh, he was sick," and he goes, "No, he was gay."
Yeah,
and people were saying that about him, which that just goes to show you again the prejudice that exists within this village, and we see that even more beyond that because Yoshiki's family is very ostracized, as we come to find out. They're known for their
talks about them.
Yeah, they're known for the parents' arguments. Everybody talks about the sister Kaoru, not the Kaoru that. not the cake eating Kaoru, but they talk about
we finally
her.
See her this episode.
Yeah, we get we get to put a face to the name. But yeah, they talk about how she is missing school and everything. So yeah, this village is one of those villages where small community, and because of the small community, word and rumors get spread about people very quickly and very maliciously.
Oh, I would hate to be in a situation like that. You literally couldn't live it up. It's like you the night your parents had a fight, everybody in town gonna fucking be talking about it. Did you hear what happened the other night? Yeah, they were arguing again.
Yeah.
I wonder why they put up with it. Yeah, and then that's all you would hear is just people talking about your family. Oh, I would hate that so much. But yeah, what a wonderful village they live in. Prejudice and very condescending and all around just hateful and spiteful.
And evil spirits everywhere.
Yeah. No wonder Yoshiki was like, I want to fucking move out of this village yesterday. I want to go now.
I know Satan just looks at this place. He gets his tickets to this place like, I'm going to have a blast here. Oh my God. So
this is a little vacation.
It's like Disneyland for him.
My God. Yeah. So we definitely learned that about the village. Very, very hateful. But also, what was this right here? Can't hear evil spirits if I got my iPods in. She's just like, I'm not listening to you, spirits. La la la. That's back on Asako.
Yeah.
When she was like, she put those in, and then her friend was about to cross the like little train there, and she was like, "Don't go there.
Yeah,
go around."
Yeah.
She's like, "Okay,"
and that confirms that she can hear these spirits. So, like some of these other supernatural power wielding people we have, she's one of those where she can hear spirits because she could hear that. Across those train tracks there was something there, so she instructs her friend Yuki not to go that way. And she also says that her hunches are always right, so that's something that she's always had. It's not something that she just developed over the course of these 6 months that Hikaru descended from the mountain. It's something that she's consistently had, essentially.
Yeah, crazy stuff. she'll. I feel like she'll have a big part to play in the series before everything's all said and done. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, what do we get later? Festival time.
Hey, shaved ice, takoyaki, music, shrines. You know,
Yeah.
great time.
All the good stuff. Yeah, we got Ushiki, Hikaru, and we finally see Kaoru in the flesh. She got to wear Yukuta, and even while they're out, yeah, as you mentioned before, the villagers just talking their shit, going, "Oh, look at them! They're out there having fun. How dare they have fun like normal people?"
Yeah.
As if it's the kid's fault that the parents argue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm wondering what's going on with Kaoru. We get to see a little bit of her personality, and she's like crippling shy, and that goes into why she doesn't want to go to school, I believe. But she's like shy to the point to where she doesn't want to talk to she doesn't want to interact with anybody. Like even when it came to her having the yukata and wanting to go to the festival, her mom was like, "Oh no, we had to get your aunt to do it," and she was like, "Oh no, mom, can you handle that?" She didn't even want to talk to her auntie about something like that. So she's something happened to her. That was very traumatic and made her not want to interact with anybody.
If this is a horror movie, it's one of two things. It's either something horrible happened, like some kind of demon or spirit or whatever, or it could be the fact that her parents are just the yelling type, and it makes her, I don't know, some kind of like trauma and like dealing with that and like keeping quiet.
Yeah.
Or something.
For sure. I mean, there's a reason why the parents keep arguing in the background, and that's probably going to come to a head at some point. But it was sweet to see, her have fun with her brother, her big brother, and then the fucking monster. That was cool.
So cute.
Yeah. Adorable.
The big brother and the monster. Monster get to try regular food and not people.
Yeah.
Just so good.
Yeah. This blue, what do you call it? Hawaii blue or blue Hawaii? That's pretty good.
First of all, Yoshiki's a goddamn liar when he said that all shave ice tastes the same. No, they don't. No, they don't. If anyone has had shave ice or anything of the same, cherry tastes very different than watermelon, tastes different than grape and orange and blue raspberry and all that. So to say it all tastes the same, no, is a lie. Thank you.
Yeah. So the interesting thing that was going on in the background was these villagers, which it's one of those things to where we get the info, but we don't really know what to do with the info, because we keep getting in the background talks of Hikaru's dad doing a ritual and it failing. We still don't know what that entails, but in this episode, it becomes a little more apparent what that is. And so seemingly Hikaru's dad was already dead before the whole mountain incident happened. So they as in the villagers, pushed Hikaru into doing a ritual, which we don't know what the ritual is. We don't know what it entails exactly, but I assume the ritual was to keep Nonuki on the mountains, because they've been keeping this entity in the mountains for, I think they said like 300 years plus.
Yeah.
And supposedly only Hikaru's family, the Endo family, can keep them at bay. So I'm assuming the ritual, again, was to appease this entity and make them stay in a mountain, but it failed. And ultimately, Nonuki ended up possessing the body of Hikaru and descending the mountain, which they didn't want. And which leads them into getting the services of someone like Tanaka, who is, we don't know what he is exactly, but he can deviate where monsters are, thanks to his hamster and his other cunning.
Yeah, his hamster came in handy this particular episode, because Hikaru tried to walk through a shrine, and that barrier worked like a charm. And then, like, I don't know, it alerted the hamster, and he was just like, "There's a thing over there!" And then that's when, the spirit guy was just like, "We gotta go, we gotta find it."
Just in case people are unaware, that's an actual visual representation of how the YouTube AI thing is going to work. If you try to watch a video and you're not actually 18 plus, it's going to be a literal barrier.
You just try to walk through, and then just
You go press
or in
confirm.
this case,
Go
right.
confirm. Burn off your finger.
Well, my finger's missing. yeah, but this thing don't mess around, because Tanaka that went to check on and tried to find Hikaru, he was even like harmed by the barrier. Like, he dropped to his knees and everything. I was like, dang, what's going on with him?
Yeah, it made me think, like, what is he exactly? Is he
full human, or is he part demon?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, is he like a demi or something? And is that why he's so knowledgeable about these things? Exactly. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm not sure either. I just know that as he was hurt, he was telling the other villagers that, yeah, if I try to do a spirit or like try to put up a barrier, I have to take a part of myself to make it. I'm like, sheesh, what kind of barrier is that, where you have to take a part of your inner organs or whatever, and also how specific is like, I don't need my pancreas. It's just
Yeah, do you get to choose which organ, or does it just happen at random?
Right. Could I just do, I don't know, just the tip of my pinky? Would that count? No, it's like, no, it has to be your full arm. Oh, man. All right, well. So, yeah, that was interesting. It definitely led to a lot more questions than there was answers, but that's why I agree, Sasuke. I was just like, what is this person? Is he even a person?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then we find out that the village is surrounded by other villages, but they're the ones isolated in that they don't have a church like the other villages. So it is very likely like this is a pagan community worshiping a god that other people don't worship, and that's why they have this whole culture of, because one thing that was important was one of the villagers was drunk and he was saying things that they didn't want Tanaka to be privy to, because he name dropped Nonuki, and they kept calling it that thing, but he just said Nonuki, and it was like, oh, so you guys know, but you guys are trying to keep that a secret to outsiders. So that is likely the god that they worship or something along those lines, which would be weird though, because they have the barrier keeping them out. So I'm not entirely sure, because there is Nonuki, and then there's some other demon that has like a similar name to Nonuki. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably different than Nonuki. Well, if it is, maybe they call it the same thing. Like, it doesn't matter. Hikaru's Nonuki. Any other kind of weird demon entity spirit is Nonuki. They just know it as that. But yeah, the only thing I could think of is that it's another, maybe even a little stronger demon, stronger than Hikaru, and maybe that'll be something where they'll come to a head at some point.
Okay. So we get a backstory, not really or a flashback of Yoshiki discovering Hikaru's body, because Hikaru
how sad.
Yeah. Hikaru was wondering, like, how the hell did you figure out I was him that quickly? I mean, I think I did a pretty good job. And then Yoshiki was like, well, I mean, I saw the body the day that it happened, but he didn't end up he was actually about to try to tell other people about this, but he was unconscious for all the time that Hikaru was unconscious, which was weird to me because I just went, why did that happen? And also, Hikaru, and I'm talking about Nonuki, I guess, in a sense. Nonuki was like, I was in his body at the time that you saw him. I was just kind of healing it. So I'm thinking, why the fuck did he get knocked out then? Because from what Nonuki is saying, Nonuki is basically saying that I ain't the one that knocked you out. And Yoshiki's like, I don't know why I was knocked out for almost a week. So I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on right there. But it's probably what you said. There's like a bigger force at work than even Nonuki.
Yeah. Yeah, they did show an after credit scene. Did you see that?
I did see it.
Yeah. I mean, we did, and it was basically showing how the real Hikaru died. He saw boob trees and then basically slipped and fell and I'm guessing gave himself a concussion and split his head open as he's just bleeding out.
That tree, I'm
What
not
a way
gonna
to
lie.
go.
That tree did. The first time I saw, I was like, "Oh, is that?" I thought it was boobs. I went, "Oh, is that?" Oh, wait, oh, that's a tree. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
And of course, Hikaru was the one that announced it. Haha, boobs. Whoa! And then just falls and hits his head on a rock or something.
Yeah.
And then that's when he's like, "Oh God, am I gonna die? I don't want to die like this." But I guess you could say his final thoughts as he was slowly dying was that he didn't want Yoshiki to be alone. He wanted him to be sought out, and maybe that had something to do with Nonuki, going into his body and like healing and whatnot. And it almost makes me think, well, no, I maybe, I don't know. Like, is it possible that Hikaru is not really dead? Like, maybe there's still a part. I mean, yeah, he has the memories, and I'm talking about Nonuki. He has the memories, he has all this other stuff, including the body and whatnot. But it's like, is there maybe a shred of Hikaru that's still in there?
Mm.
To where he could be alive? Because it's like, he was dying and then the thing came and kind of like healed him and took over. And that almost kind of makes me think maybe he's not fully dead.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
Because it's not like he was dead when he took over his body. You know what I mean? He was dying, but not dead.
You can't rule out the possibility. So that's always going to be on the table, I feel, until they just outright say it can't be. And even then I would be kind of like untrustworthy of it. I think the big thing is Yoshiki saying he wanted to lead the village. And I don't know if that's like a cardinal sin within this village, because if you seen Higurashi, when people wanted to leave that Higurashi village, oh boy, things didn't go right when you wanted to leave that village. They were very
every time
crabs in the barrel. You tried they weren't really having it. So I wonder if one of the things that kickstarted this whole thing was Yoshiki acknowledging that he wanted to lead the village. Because going back to the prejudice thing and going back to something that we already talked about before with Yoshiki and Hikaru, I think it's very clear that these characters have feelings for each other that go in a romantic sense. So given that, it's one of those things to where Yoshiki wanted to run away, not only because of his family troubles and everything, but he probably saw no future in this village and being who he truly is, which I feel like they kind of laid it out here. He talks about how the village treated somebody who was gay as having a fucking disease, and now he's going, I want to lead this village. I think they made it very clear that he has those feelings for Hikaru.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was kind of in that same sense with that scene where and I thought this was a really good scene too, where, because they had that flashback of him remembering Hikaru and whatnot, and how he found the body and everything. And it just kind of like hit him where he said, why did you have to die? Why? Why did you leave me? And he just starts breaking down and crying. And to, Hikaru or what's it, Nobu, his credit, he was just like, do you want me to leave? I don't have to be here. And just in that little sense, he grabbed him and was just like he wanted at least the presence of him, even though he knew that he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was, more of the grief, more of him realizing that it's becoming more obvious that he's probably more than likely dead and gone and not coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sad.
Well, I think that's all there is to talk about the summer Hikaru died, unless you had anything else you want to add.
The very last part, like right at the credits, was we saw the older lady again, and she was at like the train stop, and I can't remember exactly what she said, but I remember like you had just maybe a split second of her flashback where you saw her holding her son, and you didn't see the husband that she was talking about originally, but you kind of like saw like maybe like a dark path. And I'm sure she's gonna also become more prevalent in the story, and we're probably gonna see more of that flashback later on when it comes to that. And like I said, I can't remember what she said, but she was standing on that same train track, and she like saw that thing and like some weird demon, and she's like, I can't go through this again. I think it's like what she said.
Yeah, that was a weird scene for me because I didn't know whether she was going to get killed right there or whether or not they were kind of implying that whatever spirit that lurks beyond that train tracks was her husband.
Which would be crazy.
Like maybe she killed him via train or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah,
wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that was a weird scene. Yeah, whole series is shrouded in mystery. We always leave with more questions than answers, but we do get answers here and there, and I think that's a mark of a good mystery series. And
I agree.
Horror as well. But
I agree.
That covers all the anime that we're going to talk about, but we do have one last section, one last hurrah, so to speak, for the podcast, and that is
viewer questions.
Oh, you want to
we
trade
got
off?
6 tonight. Yeah, you can read the first one since that's more of a you question.
If the anime Yu-Gi-Oh was real life, who would be Seito Kaiba? Jeff Bezos? Question mark. There couldn't be a real life Seito Kaiba. Seito Kaiba is too charismatic for a billionaire and offense to billionaires. I was going to say no offense, but offense to billionaires.
Offense to billionaires.
Yeah. Y'all just don't got the charisma to be Seito Kaiba. You know what I mean? Like all the insults that you're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck. No billionaire is going to come up with something like that. The most they'll say is like, you're poor. I'm exploiting you.
Yeah, you're poor. No, I'm suing you. That's what they're good at saying.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody could be Seito Kaiba. They don't have the money and they don't have the charisma.
Okay. Next question. It's not really anime related, but I'll still read it. Which celebrity / online personality do you think is playing a good person but secretly are evil and a horrible person? Like Helen, I think they meant to say Ellen
Ellen?
DeGeneres. I don't know. I don't think her name's Helen DeGeneres, but Ellen DeGeneres.
It's like they thought of Helen Keller for a second and went like, wait, Ellen.
Maybe it's the autocorrect. But yeah, I did hear stuff about Ellen DeGeneres that she, I don't know, just treated her staff like crap or whatever. I didn't really look much into it, but that's really a hard question because that could literally be anybody. I mean, who would have thought that Bill Cosby was who he was? You know what I mean? That would have been that was a shock.
Yeah.
When I found that out. So it would be like if I find out that Keanu Reeves isn't really a piece of shit, or Adam Sandler, or any of these guys that are quoted as being really cool guys that are just all of a sudden just jerks and just evil people. Yeah. I can't really say that.
I think with the whole thing of you got to get out of celebrity worship. You can't, as good as a person may seem and whatnot, you shouldn't stand by them 100% because at the end of the day, you don't know them. It's okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's not. You can't like them or want them to be a good person or whatnot, but you shouldn't 100% go, they are this, they are that, because you don't know them at the end of the day. Like all you know is what they show you. And with cameras everywhere, and them knowing the camera's there, they can show you the personality they want. So you can be whoever you want on the internet if you're good enough at it. Some people aren't good at it. So in terms of this, a good playing a good person but secretly evil, I mean, like EA said, that can apply to a lot of people. And honestly, I'm not really in the business of shit talking people who I don't think deserve to get shit talked, on speculation at least.
Right.
You know, if I'm
no
shit,
evidence.
Yeah, if I'm shit talking somebody, I'm doing it for a specific reason. I'm not going, I think.
Right. Those red pill people that are you told me their names. I can't remember them.
Oh, like
that's how much I don't care.
Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, Fresh and Fit. Yeah. And then that one bald dude.
Andrew Tate.
That's it. That was the name. Like, I have no problem calling those guys out and saying, oh, yeah, they're bad people. But, you know, because they have evidence to show that they're bad people. Mm. But that's the big problem, is that they're bad people and they don't care. And they're online and they show their face on there. So it's like, ugh. Internet has really made people comfortable being jerks.
Cap, you do that to most of your chats. Okay, how about us? Okay, Midnight Lord 21.
Okay, there you go. He's secretly. I don't even know him, so I can't really say it. But Satsuki, he thinks you're bad. No cap. So,
you're in a Mr. Beast video. The game is beating an old wrestler to win 100K. Which old wrestler are you taking on? Do they have to be alive currently?
I was going to say, do we have to dig up their dead body and just pin them? That sounds so bad. I'm sorry.
That sounds like something Vince McMahon... Has he done that yet? That sounds like something he would actually do.
No, but he has definitely made it a plot to like talk about people dying and saying... I forget which wrestler it was, but he was. It was probably Eddie Guerrero or something. Yeah, Eddie Guerrero is dead.
It was,
and in hell with maggots in his da. And then he said, "Oh, go ahead." Sorry,
I was about to say 100% is because I remember that.
Yeah, and then I remember him saying somebody was being raped in hell or something, and it was. I don't think it was Eddie Guerrero, but I think it was like a woman or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just mixing up the two. But I remember Eddie Guerrero's in hell and maggots are in his body and she's being raped. I remember him saying that full on. Demonetized. But when it comes to an old wrestler, Ric Flair is still alive at Taken. I could probably take... I respect the Nature Boy, but I'm sorry. You and that old pacemaker is going down for that 100K.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, is Rey Mysterio still in shape?
Oh, he still wrestles. I think he's out of commission right now because he got hurt, but he's still in shape.
Shit.
Yeah, I know.
Shit. Well, not him then.
I know.
I'm gonna leave him alone. You win this time. Shit. Yeah.
Does Vince McMahon count as a wrestler? He technically wrestled.
You're on to something.
I mean, look at how old and decrepit he is.
All right.
Fucking beat it.
Let's
Beat
do
his
it.
ass.
You and me, Vince. Hell in a Cell. Let's do it.
All right. There you go. Vince McMahon and Nature Boy Ric Flair. What is your favorite anime flashback? God, I would really have to think about that.
Yeah, that is. Ooh.
Sometimes I mistake what are flashbacks compared to what was a real event, and it was as a flashback. I can't. Okay, I guess one right off the top of my head that I just love as a flashback always, and it just cements the series perfectly, is of course the flashback in Cowboy Bebop with his lover and how everything ends, and she said it's nothing but a dream, and then
Julia.
of course bang. Beautiful as what's that cinema. It's literally cinema. It's beautiful, and that is a fantastic flashback that just is edited perfectly. Shinichiro Watanabe at his absolute best.
For me, I have two like in my head. One from Shadow's House. I won't talk about it because I really want people to read that series, so I don't want to spoil anything regarding it. But another one is Fruits Basket. This one always hit me very heavy. It was the one with Utani and Kyoko, Toru's mom. It's a flashback where
oh yes, that is great.
Yeah. That one always hit me hard. I cried almost every time watching that. But it's a flashback where Utani wanted to be a better person and stop being a delinquent because she made friends with Toru. And she's in a gang at this point, and again, she wants to be a better person, so she just resolves to get out the gang. And if people know about gang culture, one of the things that they do when you try to leave a gang is they jump you out, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which means they're going to beat your ass in every single one of them. So that happens to her, and she takes the licks. And the whole time it's happening, she just thinks, I'm doing this because I want to be a better person, because I want to measure up to the person that's worthy of Toru. Because it was one of those things to where people would look at her and Toru together and then go, Toru, you hanging out with her? And she wanted to be one of those people that Toru could be proud, or people would look at her and not like be like, oh, you're hanging out with that person. She wanted to up her reputation like that. And then, you know, Kyoko comes in there, the Crimson Butterfly, and beats up a whole bunch of middle schoolers and saves Utani. It's great. It's a great backstory.
Indeed.
The next question is, who are your favorite kings in anime?
Kings. I feel like most kings in anime are evil.
Can I say Lelouch?
Ooh. Yeah, he's technically a king.
Or was for like 5 seconds.
Right, until, spoilers for people who haven't seen it, until he got. King Piccolo from Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that counts, I guess.
I mean, he was probably up there with one of the better villains in Dragon Ball, because, and again, I know everything gets resolved, but at the time, he killed a bunch of those people. He killed Krillin, he killed Master Roshi, and, you know, all those guys, and it was just like, huge. It was just so impactful where it's just like, oh my God.
I think my favorite moment from him is him killing Shinron. Because
Oh yeah, where he kills the eternal dragon.
yeah, because he makes the wish and then he goes, I did my thing. Nobody else is getting this wish. I was like, oh shit.
I remember seeing that the first time going, you can do that? What's gonna happen to the Dragon Balls? Holy shit.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Yeah. No, he was a great villain
Mm-hmm.
in that series. Okay, I'll go King Piccolo. I don't care.
Okay. Wait, is it your turn or my turn?
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, you already picked your king. Yeah, it'll be my turn. This is the last one of the night. Are there any shoujo or Josie
Jose.
series? Sorry, you think everyone should read at least once? Well, watch/read. Okay, excuse me. And also, is shoujo's action. No,
Shoujo is like the way I always think about it is like, you know how like we have shonen and seinen.
shonen. Yes.
Shonen is like for young boys, seinen is for young adults or young male adults. Shoujo is young girls and josei is young adult girls. That's how I always remember it.
Okay. I mean, are there any series for young girls that I would recommend? I don't know. I mean, I only say this just because it's like, even if it is intended for women, I watch it. Like, Watamote is like almost all women and all girls. And, would women like that series? I don't know.
Watamote is more like a shonen series because written by a dude.
Is it shonen?
Yeah, it would be more of a shonen series because I feel like the demographic for it would be more young boys than it would be young women. When you think of shoujo, it's like, and granted, I haven't read a lot. It's more shoujo is Fruits Basket. Shoujo is Nana. Shows like that.
Okay. I know. Maybe I don't know much. But Fruits Basket's a pretty good one. I would definitely recommend that one. I mean, I know Sasuke would recommend that as well, and so would Sea Tactics. There's one I can't remember right off the top of my head, but like I said,
you read another one or watched one. My Little Monsters shoujo.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I know. I had to throw that out there.
And it's a shame because I loved the anime, but the anime was just a little morsel. And then when you actually read the manga, you're introduced to even more characters that aren't good, like that one dude's sister that speaks in third person. Oh my God, I hated her character so much. And then the ending was just so bad. Like, they really fumbled that series so bad. It could have been so much more.
Did you watch My Love Story?
I did watch My Love Story. That one was actually pretty good.
That's a shoujo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm starting to think of the stuff that sounds like it would be for women. Okay. Ooh. It's called, I think it's called My Romantic Complex or Romantic Comedy Complex or something. I feel like that's a good one. It's an older anime, and it's I feel like it's a shoujo, because it's of that style. It's Toei animation. It totally looks like One Piece, but it's not, and I think it's pretty solid. I would recommend that to anybody. Like, that was probably one of the earlier ones that I saw where I think it still holds up.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. So let me just double check. Or is it My Lovely Complex? Let me see. Lovely Complex. Yep, that's what it is. It's called Lovely Complex. I don't know why I kept
Oh.
calling it 1,000 different things.
It definitely looks like a shoujo just from the art style. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, and I would recommend that. Lovely Complex. It's older, it's good, it's solid. Yeah, I would recommend that to anyone.
So you said shoujo. I want to go on like the josei side. It hasn't been many josei that I read. I don't think I watched any josei anime. Let me look this up to make sure this is a josei anime
Okay.
or manga. I meant.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty, y'all.
Because if it is definitely something I would say people need to. On the shoujo side, though, I say like Fruits Basket is a must read for shoujo fans. So I think is the best one out. Completed. All right, where is it at? There you are. Are you a josei? It doesn't say. But in case it is a manga called It Takes Two Tomorrow 2, or also known as Futari Ashita Mo Sorenari ni. It's one that I think I posted about to you, EA. So I'm pretty sure like you've seen me post about it.
Yeah. I'm sure I've seen it.
I'll put it in the chat. But yeah, it's a series about two characters who are already established, like from the from that
you
very
did show me this.
Yeah, from the very outset, they're a couple. It's not one of those things to where we are working towards it or anything. They're a couple from the very beginning. 92 chapters, but it's not really a daunting chapter number because the chapters are very short, and it's just them living their life as couples. And it's not even like super dramatic or anything. Like, I think one of the beginning things of that series was the guy eating like her pudding or something that she was looking forward to. You know, it's shit like that. Like day-to-day stuff that you can see a couple going through. Again, not too dramatic. And it's very fun. Cool. So that is a series I feel, if it is a josei, that people should check out.
Alrighty, that was the long answer of of that question, because we had to find out what those meant. I'm glad Satsuki knows what those are. So yeah, that's all the questions for today, and we are now at the end of the podcast. Thank you everybody for sticking around. I left in the chat a link to our Blue Sky, so whenever we go live, or if we don't show up on a certain day, we have to reschedule like we did this week. You would have known if you were still looking at or still following us.
Yeah, if you care.
If you give a shit, man. We also have a Patreon. Stuff that we don't talk about on here. And you support the channel, and it's only $1 stinking $1. $1, you get a backlog of all of our stuff that we talk about. Anything from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, to Watamote, to Pokemon, to Drunken Story podcasts, and all the above. That's just to name a few. So, as for me, you can see me at my channel, Everything Animated. I think it's now just a thing where I need to just do this Demon Slayer review. Oh, sorry. K-pop Demon Hunters review. Oh my god. K-pop Demon Hunters. That's the name of the movie. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Give it the love that it deserves, because apparently a lot of people know about it on Netflix, but I don't know if, I think it's a perfect movie that if you're a fan of anime, it's a must watch for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the soundtrack, bangers. Each and every one of those songs on there. I don't say that heavily when it comes to because you'll get music and stuff. You're just like, okay, yeah, this is very forgettable. No, these music are bangers. So you expect that once you subscribe to me, And yeah, that's all I got going on. Sasuke, take it away.
Well, as for me, you can always catch me on my Twitch, Sasuke the Savage. This is with a DA, not a THE. Where I play a plethora of games. I think tomorrow I'm going to do the Nikkei event, the summer event. So there will be boobs and water, everything, everybody's the necessities in life. As well as other things that I play. I gotta finish Ace Attorney. I'm playing Sekiro. And other light novels. Steins Gate being one of them. A lot of different things. We covered everything on my Twitch channel. And as well my YouTube. I think the next thing that I'm going to cover on my YouTube page is the latest Kakaguri chapters, plural, because I got to talk about this the entirety of this arc, or so to speak. As far as like a long length video, there's a couple ideas that I have. I won't even speak on it yet until I have a clear idea what I want to do. But if you want to support, check out my channel, Sasuke the Savage, YouTube, Sasuke the Savage, Twitch. If you have any questions, if you want to be involved in the questions at the end of the podcast, we always have in our description a Google document that you can submit questions on. Like EA said, check out our links. Patreon, $1, Blueski, check that out. You'll get informed if some things happen, we reschedule something, whatever it may be. But appreciate everybody who showed up and showed out tonight. We hope to see you guys next Thursday, where we might have 6 shows to cover, or we might have 5 shows to cover. Me and EA gotta talk. We gotta see.
We shall discuss.
Yeah, but one thing is constant: no more Tougen Anki. So there's that.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
But yeah, you guys have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. Peace and love from the KOA family. Peace and love.